This is a special presentation from News Channel Nebraska.
We have ourselves a crisp, cool evening here in Grand Island, Nebraska for Class A football as the Grand Islanders host Lincoln Southwest here on homecoming. Glad you're with us here for this game presented by Anderson Ford, Lincoln Kia of Grand Island. See their huge selection of new and used cars and trucks in Grand Island as they're proudly serving the Tri-City areas and are a proud supporter of area athletes. Check them out at andersonofgrandisland.com. Thank you so much for joining us here tonight. Brandon Axelman, Andy Klassen with you for this contest between two 6-1 teams. Andy, it's that time of the season. There's 2 games left to go. Wild card points are at stake. District championships are at stake. Homecomings, in Grand Island's case, is at stake tonight. It's really a special time of year, and we're expecting to see a great game between 2 Class A opponents.
It really is. A lot on the line. Like you mentioned, a 6-1 versus 6-1 type of opponents here. On top of it, it's homecoming. Got in town a little early today. The town is abuzz. Everyone's talking about the matchup tonight. I think we're in for a good one.
Lincoln Southwest, we'll talk about them first at 6-1. They are on a 5-game winning streak. Most recently, they've defeated Kearney 17-15 last Friday. Now, for some football fans who look at their schedule, they'll say, yeah, they're 6-1, but you look at who they've played, and Grand Island's been more battle-tested. But still, you don't want to throw everything out the window. You look at that record, you say, that's a good record. That is a good team that's 7th in wild card points, and they're going to be tough for Grand Island tonight.
You're exactly right. I'll defer to old Bill Parcells. You are what your record says you are, and Southwest is 6-1 right now. It's late in the season. This is a good football team that can run the ball, and they are dangerous. Like we talked about last week, it feels like football weather. Southwest is playing some really good football now.
As for Grand Island, they are coming off a tough loss to Millard West. It was a 3-4 matchup last Thursday in Omaha, and Grand Island fell in double overtime. It was a game that had a bunch of dramatic plays, ups, it had downs, and it had a big injury to starting quarterback Cole Evans. He's not going to be playing. Pretty much it's expected he won't make any sort of appearance tonight, so Carson Cahoy will get the start. Talking to head coach Jeff Tomlin, he said, the goal will be to get Evans worked back in next week, hopefully against Lincoln East, but it's going to be the junior who's going to be doing it all for Grand Island here tonight in Cahoy.
Right, and Cahoy does a lot of nice things. I really like the way he delivers the ball through the air. He's a good passer, and he can run the ball. We saw that last Thursday, and I thought you were going to use the word theatrics describing the game. You just about did, because there was a lot of it last week. GI just came up a little bit short, so they're looking to avenge that loss here tonight. And it's homecoming. I mean, everyone's pumped up, and I think Cahoy is more than capable of toting it tonight.
And talking to Jeff Tomlin earlier, actually came out here on Wednesday, he said, we are entirely rallied around Cahoy. We have every confidence in the world that he can do what needs to be done. And when you have a team and you have a backup quarterback who's making its first varsity start, it certainly is important to know that everybody has your back and the coaching staff has confidence in you. And from that sort of standpoint, what does that do for a team?
Well, you see that a lot of times where a guy goes down, not only is it the next man up mentality that you always hear, kind of a cliche, but everyone elevates their play around them. And I think without even having to say a word, Coach Tomlin got that out of his players this week in practice, and I think we're going to see that translated on the field here tonight as well.
Don't go anywhere. We have much more coming up here on our pregame show. Lincoln Southwest and Grand Island battling for homecoming for the Islanders. We'll be right back. And welcome back here to Grand Island. Like to let you know our pregame show is brought to you by Cornhusker Toyota, Honda, Nebraska's only dual Toyota Honda dealer where there's no need to drive to Lincoln or Omaha when shopping for a new or pre-owned vehicle. Go see the sports fans at Cornhusker Toyota Honda in Grand Island. Well, Andy, we talked about some key players already. We're going to elaborate more now, the first of which is Grand Island's Carson Cahoy. Now, in that game against Millard West, he went 9 for 22. He did some good things. He threw a touchdown, but he also had 3 interceptions, and that's not necessarily something you're going to fault of that player thrown into a situation where he's never played a varsity game before in such a serious situation. But when you talk to Coach Tomlin, he says he is a great thrower. We have a lot of confidence in his arm. He can run, but like you said, I would expect him not to be quite as mobile as Evans, but he can do both things, and it's going to be interesting to see what he does tonight against the Silverhawks.
Well, we even saw that before the injury. He would come in, and a lot of times he'd be put in passing situations, so we know the Islanders are comfortable with Cahoy throwing the ball. Now, Now, last week he got put in a difficult situation. You brought up the 3 interceptions, but I didn't feel like those were all due to him. They had to air it out. The defense was kind of ready for it, you know what I mean? So I expect them, like Coach Tomlin was saying in pregame, they're not going to change up the playbook too much. My biggest thing was when Evans went down, they lost Cahoy as a receiver. That's the thing I would look out for here tonight, is what are they going to do at the receiver spot.
As for Lincoln Southwest, Frazzy Wynn is the player you need to know about. Senior running back, averaging over 8 yards a carry. He's the leading rusher. It's interesting, Andy, when you look at the stats, because both Grand Island and Lincoln Southwest, they love to run the ball. They sort of take this committee approach, but Wynn is the leader of the committee, and by a little bit of a ways, he is a very special talent.
You know what I'm going to say? He's the straw that stirs the drink. Frazzy is to the T, and he's the speedster out of the group. He likes to get to the edge and cut it up the sideline, and you got to contain. That's going to be at a premium for the Islanders here tonight, because Frazzy, with that speed, if you let him get into the open field, he's going to put it in the end zone on you.
He's ran for over 600 yards already this season, also 9 touchdowns. He knows to find the end zone. And also, Andy, when you talk about it, and it's always kind of fun when you have two teams that pretty much try to do the exact same thing. Now, this is different because Lincoln Southwest, last year, they loved to air it out. They had a very strong passing game. This year, talking to the head coach, he said, now we like to run the ball. That's what we do best. We might run it. I think he said we ran it like 3 times last week. It was raining, and we said we're just going to keep trudging downhill. So it's really going to be a matter of which team can impose its will when they're both trying to do the exact same thing.
Well, and that's a testament to head coach Andrew Sherman for the Silverhawks. He looked at his team, he looked at his roster, and he's just doing what they do best, and that is running the ball with their stable of running backs. They got a nice mix, some speed, some power, if you will, and I mean that's what good coaching staffs do. They placate to their players.
We're going to hear from head coach Jeff Tomlin shortly. We're getting closer and closer to kickoff. Glad you're with us here on News Channel Nebraska. More pregame coming up next. And welcome back here to our T.O. Haas's coaches interview. Joining me, Grand Island head coach Jeff Tomlin. Coach, Islanders 6-1, Lincoln Southwest 6-1. It's homecoming tonight. How are you guys feeling, and what's the message to this program and this team getting ready for tonight's matchup with the Silverhawks?
Well, obviously we're playing an outstanding team, and Lincoln Southwest are very well coached. They have a lot of great players. So, it's just been a week of preparation as usual. Our kids work awful hard, and so it really hasn't been a different message. Just be who we are and do what we do, and try to outwork folks, and that's just kind of our blue collar nature. That's kind of what we try to do. So hopefully we can do that tonight.
Of course, the big storyline as well. No Cole Evans, Carson Cahoy getting the start under center here. In terms of what you're going to try to do offensively, does anything change with the junior at the quarterback spot?
I think for the most part, Carson's got a really good grasp on what we do, and he's in every quarterback meeting. He's a good athlete. Carson will do just fine. We don't really feel like we have to narrow the scope of anything with Carson in place of Cole, and we're very confident what Carson can do.
When you look at the Southwest Silverhawks, what do they bring in terms of challenges for you guys tonight?
Well, offensively, I have a great backfield and some big play receivers. Quarterbacks are mobile and they can throw. So from a defense coordinator standpoint, that proves to be challenging. Defensively, they just blitz from all over. They line up in that 3-3 and they create a lot of movement. And so that's a little challenging for an offensive line, but I'm confident in our guys. And then obviously they have a great kicker, all-state caliber kicker. So they have a very well-rounded team.
Well, lastly, Coach, with 2 more games left before playoffs start, how do you feel this Islander team is sitting and playing right now in terms of their potential?
I feel like we're playing very, very well. We're training as hard as we can. Our preparation's where it needs to be. Our attitude's excellent. So I couldn't be prouder of our kids and where they're at right now.
Thank you for the time, as always. Good luck tonight.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Stay with us. We have much more coming up on our pregame show here as Grand Island gets ready to host Lincoln Southwest on homecoming here on News Channel Nebraska. And welcome back here to Grand Island Senior High's Memorial Stadium. National Anthem just wrapping up. We are less than 7 minutes to kick off here between Lincoln Southwest and Grand Island. Brandon Axmit, Andy Klassen with you. It is certainly fall. It is October. It is football time. And there's not much more you can say. The rain and kind of the damp weather that we saw earlier this week has stayed away, so I don't really know if you could ask for much better of an atmosphere and environment right now for your homecoming.
No, it's a stellar atmosphere, homecoming once again. And even if it was raining, GI has the field turf down there, the crumb rubber, so you're not going to run in that sloppy, muddy conditions as you would on a typical traditional field. So we got that going for us here tonight, and like you said, the weather has turned, the leaves are falling. It finally feels like football weather in Nebraska.
You look at how the wild card is shaping up right now. Grand Island currently sitting at 6, Lincoln Southwest at 7 in the Omaha World Herald rankings. Yeah. Grand Island just dropped 1 spot. They were 3rd, and then go to 4th as we get a look at how things are shaping up right now. And that's, tied for 5th with Southwest at 7th. But Lincoln Southwest, Omaha kept them out of the top 10, right. And they said that's because of the schedule. And so certainly if they got a victory over the Islanders, that would catapult them into the top 10 and do big wonders in terms of the wild card standings.
Well, yeah, and I'll go back to it. You are what your record says you are, and Southwest is 6-1 late in the season, 2 weeks left here. And they've got themselves positioned very well heading into the postseason. Now, things do tighten up for them or toughen up for them at the end of the season, particularly here tonight. A tough road game against GI. And GI, another advantage here, they had an extra day to kind of game plan for this. Last week was a Thursday night game, a hard-fought road game in Millard. And you know what? They want to get that taste out of their mouth. That was a hard-fought double overtime loss, but GI was right there. And some would say they probably should have won that game.
Grand Island getting ready to come out here. You look at their schedule, and Islanders really enjoying a great season up to this point. Started out on fire, dismantling Kearney on this field to open things up for the season, 46-0. Then went to Lincoln and took down Lincoln High, a team that has rattled off 5 straight wins since that game. It was a 42-27 win over the Lynx. And then you go to Papillion La Vista, 42-14, defeat North Platte, 56-0. Host North Star, defeat the Gators 57-14, and Omaha Bryan 77-7. This is a Grand Island team that is so strong offensively and defensively. Now the final score of that Millard West game was 30-24, as Grand Island was unable to answer in that double overtime and get us. Or they threw an interception, then Millard West scored the touchdown to put it away. But this is a team, when you look at them, that is strong in nearly every facet of the game. It's been really fun to watch so far this season.
No, it really is, and I love how they use the running game to set up their passing game. They'll lean on the run, they'll get those linebackers to kind of lean forward or lean to a gap, and as soon as that happens, they throw the pass right in behind them. Well-coached team. Tomlin knows what he has on offense, and boy, does he dial up some great plays, especially in the second half.
It's always kind of fun when you dissect teams and matchups and you look at the schedules and you look at common opponents. Of course, the big one that sticks out was Kearney. Grand Island won 46-0, and Lincoln Southwest just beat the Bearcats 17-15. But I think there's a lot of factors at play, including the improvement of the Bearcats at that point. You look at Lincoln North Star. Lincoln Southwest defeated the Gators 43-0, and Grand Island beat them 57-14. So there's a couple of common opponents where the score differences are a lot more in line with one another.
Right, and that's too easy. That's kind of a lazy way to look at it, and you took the words out of my mouth there. Kearney's a lot better team than they were week 1 compared to where they were when they played Southwest last week, and you expect that, especially from a Kearney-type team that has talent, that is well-coached. They're going to improve week to week, so it's not the same. Like you said, there's a lot of factors that go into that. You can't just look at common opponents and look at the score and go off of that.
Well, let's take a look at our 5 points of impact, brought to you by 5 Points Bank, proud to support area coaches and athletes. 5 Points Bank, the better bank. First off, for Grand Island, talking to head coach Jeff Tomlin, the Islanders want to establish the run tonight. Again, that's something they always look to do, but again, there might be a little more added importance with not necessarily wanting to force Cahoy into too many situations where he has to air the ball out. Again, not because he can't, but why even put him in that spot if you can just run it?
Right, you want to make him comfortable. You want to get things going, running the ball. Even with their starter, Cole Evans, they want to establish the run.
Point number 2 for Grand Island. Pretty simple, stop the run. Lincoln Southwest is good at running the ball. They run it a lot. If you stop them, you're going to be successful more times than not.
Right, you're going to put yourself in a good position to beat Southwest if you can stop Frazee, Wynn, and company from the running back position.
Now for the Silverhawks and point number 3 on our 5 points of impact. Limit those big plays. Grand Island is so good at reeling off big runs, big passes. There's a lot of playmakers, and talking to head coach Andrew Sherman, he said that's one thing these Silverhawks have to do.
Right, they're going to have to stay disciplined, especially on the play action that GI uses so well.
Point number 4 for the Silverhawks on our 5 points of impact. Establish the passing game. Again, running is their MO, but if you can pass the ball as well, it opens up the run game even more.
Well, both teams, especially on the road here for Southwest, you want to be balanced on offense. You cannot allow the D linemen and linebackers from Grand Island to pin their ears back and really focus on the run.
And our final point of impact, this applies to both teams, no turnovers. If you win the turnover battle, you significantly increase your chance of winning the game.
And I'm glad that's point number 5 for both teams, because you're exactly right. It's kind of a cliche in football, win the turnover battle. Well, it's a cliche because it's true. More times than not, you're looking at a 90 percentile type of difference. Whoever wins the turnover battle wins the game.
Those are our 5 points of impact, brought to you by 5 Points Bank. We are ready to go here in Grand Island, where the Silverhawks will get the ball first here on homecoming. Glad you're with us here on News Channel Nebraska, wherever it is you're watching, whether it's on TV or online at ncnsportsnow.com. We have a good one heading your way tonight. And the kick from Jackson Sykes is off. We are underway as that goes into the end zone for a touchback. So let's take a look at this Silverhawk offense. Again, talking to Jeff Tomlin, said there's a lot of weapons. Make no mistake about it. This Grand Island defense is going to have to keep their eyes on them. Now, Lakin Hardley, of course, the quarterback. Caden McCormick, running back, along with Taven Grigsby, Chase Ryan, and Alec Duvall. And again, Frazee Wynn doesn't even get to start, even though he basically is starting. And then you have the big boys up front, Gerber, Sherman, Buss, Cutter, and Sanders. And, of course, the defenders on that 3-man front for Grand Island, Martinez, Rodriguez, and Rodenbaugh, as we go to the ground here for the Silverhawks to start things. And at front 3, stuffing the run there.
Yeah, no surprise there that Southwest elected to go to the run to start things off here tonight, trying to go up the middle, just inside the tackle there to try and establish that run. Grand Island having none of it.
That was Caden McCormick again. He's a good runner as well, 344 yards. He's averaging over 6 yards per carry. He's getting D1 offers as well for playing that middle linebacker spot. We'll see a lot of him defensively. Back to the ground, nowhere to go. Big time tackle and play by Mateo Martinez.
Martinez and company doing an excellent job defending the run there. They had 3 wide to the bottom of your screen with Frazee Wynn in the slot, really giving you a passing look, which wouldn't surprise a guy on 2nd and long. Grand Island still ready for the run.
So 3rd and 13 after the loss. First pass here, and it's a little swing pass and nowhere to go. Sam Sims says not today. Nowhere for Wynn to go there.
Sims does such an excellent job of reading and reacting from that linebacker position, keying on Wynn, number 1, the running back there, out of the backfield, wrapping him up, getting him to the turf.
Instant replay brought to you by Great Western Bank in Grand Island, Kearney Hastings, and Holdridge, as well as Broken Bow. Hometown bankers empowered to make fast decisions so you can be greater with Great Western Bank. So 3 and out, Grand Island defense does its job as Dylan Jorgensen punts this one away. It's short and rolls towards midfield, but a pretty nice field position here for Grand Island to start as it's down near the 48. We'll take a look at the Grand Island starting lineup. No changes offensively, except, of course, for the fact that Cahoy is the quarterback. Sykes and Fransold, Riley, all getting runs throughout this season. You have Douglas, the leading receiver, Ben Riley, and then the big boys, and Allen, Martinez, Bealby, Krolikowski, and Cruz. They have a 3-man front as well, a 3-3 stack, actually, ran by this Silverhawks defense, where they have about 5 guys, 5 linebackers talking to head coach Sherman. They say we can either blitz or drop into coverage at any given time, and they really try to confuse offenses with that approach.
And that's exactly what they do. They try to bring extra pressure out of that stack.
And so first snap, handoff to Riley, and he gets a nice pickup of 4 on the play to start things.
And right out of the gate, you're seeing how Grand Island wants to deal with that pressure from different parts of the defense. They're going to want to play with tempo, not allow Southwest to get that front set.
Second down, Cahoy in the gun. Sykes motions across. And there's swing pass. Riley again. He has some space, has some blockers. He's tackled from behind. But another decent little pickup.
Right, and that's really what the Islanders like to do. They just like to stay on pace, and that's exactly what that little swing pass did for them. Brought up a third manageable, a 3rd and 4.
So Cahoy 1 for 1, high snap there, but we have a flag coming in.
Yeah, you had a couple Islanders take off a little early. Gonna have to back them up 5.
And that might have been Eric Allen, just getting a little bit too much of a head start.
Tonight's officials, referee Dan Walker, Bill Duttons, the umpire, George Finley, the head linesman, Steve Cords, the line judge, and Shane Smith is our back judge here tonight.
Cahoy back to throw again, and it's Riley again. Nowhere to go in a great open field. A tackle by the Silverhawks, Caden McCormick. He is going to be all over the field tonight.
Yeah, the 6'3 senior McCormick doing a really nice job following the quarterback's eyes to the receiver and then bringing the shifty Riley down to the turf.
So Juergensmeyer, low end over end punt, and keeps rolling, and it's going to go inside the 5, and my goodness.
Oh boy.
What a punt there. And if you're that Silverhawks receiver, either grab it or get away from the ball. I was a little nervous for him that he was going to potentially touch it.
Yeah, I mean, that's where Gabriel Davis got put in a tough spot there, but you're the return man because you gotta come up to the ball and field it. You just gave away about 20 yards of position there, field position, after the ball hit the field. You gotta come up and stop that.
That is exactly how you draw it up too, special teams wise. All the way back to the 2-yard line. The Silverhawks just have 98 yards to go here on their second drive.
You know, it's kind of feast or famine with a rugby-style kick. It either goes out of bounds a little early on you, or you get a play like this where you back a team up.
And there's Wynn squeaking through the middle, and you see just how elusive he is. All the way out to the 15, a pickup of 13, and that'll give the Silverhawks some breathing room.
Yeah, that's what I really like out of Wynn. You know, he's only 5'10", 180 pounds, but he's not afraid to run in between the tackles. And when he can get through that first line of defenders, he can bounce it outside, and he has the speed to get it upfield. Nice first down pickup.
Now rolling out for the throw, and hits his wide open receiver. That was Nick Leaders hauling that one in. Happy enough for a first down, another 15 yards.
Yeah, Leader has real good length there with 6'2", but that was just too easy. He was way too open. Grand Island's going to have to tighten up their defense, especially the back 4 there.
Another first down, ball on the 31. You see Harnley helping out Wynn there, getting the chin strap snapped up. And hands it off to Wynn. Again, just slipping through the middle. And I know it's early, but we have not seen a running back like this that's had success against this front of Grand Island like that, because there's normally nowhere to go up the middle.
We had a real good look at it there. And, yeah, Frazzy Wynn was able to sidestep a couple tackles. And, I mean, that's how you have an 8.5-yard average. When there's nothing there, you make something of it. What a run by Frazzy Wynn.
We saw Wentling and company in on the tackle as we have flags on the field here. This one against the Silverhawks.
Referee Dan Walker with the easy illegal procedure call. And you saw what Southwest wanted to do there. They had the linebackers creeping up just a little bit, so they wanted to dump that little pass in right behind it. It looked like it was there, all for naught, as the penalty negates the play.
4 wide here for the Silverhawks. Again, back to win. Sims meets him near the 35 and pulls him back. Short gain on the play.
And that's a good way to stop the run. Just stole sick Mr. Sims on it. Big number 7.
The 2 wide here to the near side. Lakin's going to roll out. Has one-on-one coverage down the field. Ball pops up. And he was trying to hit Alec Duvall. But the Silverhawks will be forced to punt.
Yeah, and that wasn't the easiest pass for Duvall to haul in, but you know you'd want it back. It was a deflected there, but my goodness, it went off both your hands. And we know Alec Duvall can make that catch.
So Douglas back to return, sitting at about the 38-yard line. Good snap for Jorgensen and a booming punt. Douglas will have a chance to return this one. And great coverage by the Silverhawks. Credit Douglas for fighting hard. Got a couple on the return there. Not quite able to get to that wall.
Real nice coverage there. McIntyre and company really stringing it out, giving Douglas nowhere to go with the ball. And credit Douglas, that was an exact opposite, a 180 from the first punt. Kind of sent him back, pedaling a little bit, securing the catch, and then trying to get upfield.
So Islanders had to punt after a 3 and out their opening drive. We'll see if they have better luck here. Riley motions across and a handoff faked and then a swing pass to Riley. And Riley's close to a first down.
Love the play design right there. And Caleb Underwood, number 34, really had the block that sprung his receiver forward there.
We'll see where they mark him.
And those are the type of pass plays that we kind of thought, or that the GI coaching staff would want to set up for Caleb. Give him some confidence early on here passing the ball with those short completions.
And Cahoy's completed 3 of them all to Riley here early on. This time hands it off to Riley and brought down, and that's going to be a face mask. That was Easton Boyd trying to make the tackle.
Yeah, Easton kind of got caught no man's land there trying to get out to the play. Caught the stiff arm. You just can't get your hands inside a guy's face mask like that.
Imagine this will be a 15-yarder.
Yeah. And Riley had already was pretty darn close to picking up the first down anyhow.
Okay, so offsetting, so the Islanders were guilty of holding.
Well, and that was your point number 5 of your 5 points to the game was the turnovers. But then I wanted to bring up the penalties. Southwest had some good things going on that last drive, and they got off track with that penalty. When that illegal procedure happened, that really kind of sent their offensive play calling away from what they were trying to do.
2nd and 1 here. Riley lowers his shoulder. And depends on the mark, but it should be enough for a first down.
Steve Cord's the line judge across the marker there. Looks like Riley has enough to pick it up. And that's something I really like about Riley, his versatility. You saw him get to the edge on the previous play. There, right up the gut, hard yardage, getting the first down.
Well, we'd like to remind you that UNK is the most affordable university in the state. They're a streaming sponsor tonight. Quality academics matched with low tuition makes the University of Nebraska at Kearney a wise choice, as Cahoy is brought down, but apply today and start making a difference. Visit unk.edu. So no gain on the play there. Cahoy taken down.
Yeah, you saw the Islanders try and get the quarterback involved in the running game there. Silverhawks ready for it.
3 wide on the far side. Another handoff up the middle. Short game for Riley.
Tell you what, you really got to credit that front three for Southwest. Dane Gerbers and others doing a real good job of containing this rushing attack from Grand Island.
Noah Buss as well, that big nose guard. 6'1" and 220.
Yeah, that's what you call a run stopper.
Silverhawks showed blitz, backed off. Cahoy, though, in trouble. Brought down, and the ball is out. And the Silverhawks have it. Nick Leaders gets the loose ball, and there's our first turnover of the ball game.
Well, there you saw it. A little bit of a delayed blitz there from Southwest getting home. You saw Cahoy just kind of double clutch it there. He got stuck in no man's land. And you've heard it before, a man in hesitation is lost. Kind of feel like that's what what happened to number 9 there for GI.
So the best field position of the night so far here for Lincoln Southwest as they start in Islander territory at the 42.
Yeah, and we figured turnovers would play such a big part in this game. Southwest on top in that department right now.
Wynn trying to stretch the field, and great patience shown by the running back there. He was plugged up. He kind of just kept going east and ended up getting a yard or two.
I was going to say, as far as 2-yard runs go, that's about as good as we've seen all year.
Second and 8 here for the Silverhawks. Wynn again, trying to get around the outside. He's going back the other way, reversing the field. Wynn brought down near the 35. But goodness, he's hard to bring down.
Yeah, what an ability. He has such an ability to change direction. Nothing was happening for him where the play was supposed to go to the bottom of your screen. He was able to change directions on a dime, reverse field, and turn it into a nice gain there on second down.
See, tackled and brought down by Francel for the Islanders. 3rd and 3. Going to the air, and it could have been, should have been picked off by Kojo Atikpahu. That is a gift that he wants back.
Atikpahu usually makes that play. I think he was kind of shocked how this just went right to him, right in the grill. Look at this. Oh.
Tough break there for the senior cornerback. Now the Silverhawks, though, looking like they're going to go for it here. 4th and 3.
And why not? You're in a hostile environment. You're on the road.
Arnley, quick throw. It's picked up and caught. That's enough for a first down, and the drive continues. Nice catch by Taven Grigsby.
Grigsby did an excellent job of getting to his spot and snapping his head and his hands around, locating the ball and then really clutching it with 2 hands there as you saw the big hit from the Grand Island defender.
Grigsby a big target as well, 6'3", 185. Comes into this contest 111 receiving yards, 2 touchdowns. Wynn back on the ground as flag flies towards the backfield.
Yeah, and it's thrown in the direction where we usually see that holding call.
Uh-oh, and we have Sam Sims kind of limping off the field here. We'll keep our eyes on that, but he is a key part to this linebacking core. He had Alex Hinken, the sophomore, running on the field.
Sims is a pivotal part of that defensive unit. It was a hold call, so we're going to back it up 10 yards on first down.
And excuse me, there's 2 number 20s. That was Alexiah Darris, the senior linebacker, going in for Sims.
I want to back it up to that third down completion for Harnley. Really like the authority that he delivered that ball with on third down, knowing where he had to go with it and getting it there in a hurry. No wasted motion.
And off again, Wynn, and he cuts it up. And gets about 7 back. And a heavy dose of Wynn early on, no surprise here.
No surprise, and you can see how dangerous he is with the ball. He just had a very small gap to fit through there. He was able to pick up 7 yards.
Just over a minute remaining here in the opening quarter. Back to Wynn. And tackled in the backfield. Jack Wemhoff, one of the tackle leaders for this team, hits him there.
Wemhoff did a really nice job of not only getting penetration, but staying ready for the cutback as Wynn saw nothing was doing for him on the outside, tried to bring it back. Wemhoff was ready for it.
3rd and long. Harnley letting it rip up the seam. And incomplete is the call. Keelan Wentling said, "I picked it." Let's see if we get another look at it.
Wentling couldn't believe it. He just assumed everyone saw he had the pick here. Let's take a look.
Well, that's close.
Yeah.
It might have hit the ground, but the NFL would say inconclusive, I think, as you look.
Yeah, a lot of things were going on there. And also when he came up with the ball, he kind of lost it. So it kind of painted the picture like he never really had control.
Well, we have a 49-yard field goal attempt about to take place here for the Silverhawks. And the kick.
Whoa.
Had the distance, but it was wide. Pulled wide, but we have a flag, and it's going to be against the Islanders.
Oh, boy.
Now, was it roughing or running into the kicker?
Well, Preston Green definitely had the leg there, so if it's not the automatic first down, you got to expect Southwest is going to line up and try for another field goal.
And that, I believe, is on Caleb Francel. And it was the personal foul, automatic first down. Huge break for the Silverhawks.
Yeah, Francel's got to know better than that. You can't get tangled up in the legs of the kicker, especially on a 49-yard attempt like that.
So that moves the Silverhawks all the way onto the 17-yard line.
And I agree with the call. Player safety is at an all-time high right now. You can't be doing plays like that.
Harnley hits his receiver, Duvall, on the comebacker. Pickup of about 6.
Harnley and his receivers are really on the same page right now. I like the pace of play that they're playing with. The receivers are getting to their spots, and they're hauling it in. I mean, how many times have we seen quarterbacks deliver catchable balls and they just go off the hands? Not the case so far for Southwest.
This time Wynn trying to get to the outside. He is dancing around, dodging Islanders, and gets enough for a first down.
You know, Frazzy Wynn does a lot of dancing. He's really shifty, goes back and forth, but before you know it, he gets upfield on you. He's picking up yards when he's making those moves.
Silverhawks all the way now on the 6, 1st and goal to go. And that'll do it for the first quarter, scoreless after the opening 12 minutes, but Lincoln Southwest with a real opportunity when we return for the second on News Channel Nebraska. And welcome back. Second quarter action just underway. The Silverhawks tried to punch it in. Grand Island had other ideas on the opening play of the quarter. That'll make it 2nd and goal to go from the 6 after no gain.
Yeah, Southwest tried to line up and go for the quick hitter. Grand Island kind of had a run blitz type of defense and went right into their arms.
He's going to roll out, cuts it up, wrapped up near the 5. And again, the Islander front does its job.
And it sets up another big third down. We had a lot of big third downs in the first quarter. Looks like we're starting things off with another big third down here in the second.
3rd and goal to go from the 5. The Silverhawks trying to get on the board here first. Harnley drops back, is going to step up. Still extending the play, throws it up there, it's hauled in. Touchdown Silverhawks. And that was Grigsby with the catch. And what a play by the quarterback.
Yeah, a lot of good things happening there for Southwest. How about Larkin Harnley there? Buying time, keeping the play alive. He was looking to run it in, had the wherewithal where he was at, knew he didn't cross the line, looking up his man Grigsby in the back of the end zone. Huge score for Southwest, getting on the board first here tonight.
And that was just great quarterback play by the junior Harnley, extending it, being patient, and finding Grigsby in the corner.
Yeah, Harnley did a lot of good things there, Brandon. You really got to credit Grigsby and the other receivers for staying with the quarterback and moving with the play. Excellent hookup to get the scoring started here tonight.
Well, Grand Island will look to answer here. 10:40 left in the half. So the Silverhawks getting on the board here first in Grand Island after that 5-yard touchdown pass to Grigsby. The Islanders going to try to answer here. We have a high kick fielded about the 2-yard line. Douglas coming up the sideline. Douglas has room in front of him. There's a flag though back about the 25.
Yeah, and you got to assume it's a hold on GI, setting up that wall for Douglas to run behind. The GI's really got to be kicking themselves right now because they had Southwest stopped on that last scoring drive, missed a field goal. You had the personal foul running into the kicker, roughing the kicker to extend that drive. And then you had Southwest really stepping up and answering the bell with an impressive finish to that drive. You talked about how the passing game would be important. Well, they just showed it to you right there on a nice 3rd and 5, 3rd and goal hookup for the score.
Well, this broadcast and stream is helped made possible by Central Nebraska Orthopedics. From advanced surgical techniques to sports medicine expertise, Central Nebraska Orthopedics is dedicated to the motion of life. 1st and 10 all the way back now on the 17-yard line. You have motioning across, fakes the handoff to Riley, and a screen pass out to Sextro, and he was brought down after a short gain, if any.
Yeah, you really got to credit the cornerback for Southwest there for getting off of his block and finding the ball carrier.
Riley trying to get to the edge. That Silverhawks defense swarming to him, though, and nowhere to go.
Swarming's the correct word to use there. And that was number 4, Gabriel Davis on the previous play, coming up from his cornerback spot. Now you're seeing everybody in those silver helmets really beginning to rally to the ball. They're seeing the field. They're playing with a lot of confidence right now.
Third and 9. Cahoy stays in the pocket. Pump fake. Out and up double move was covered. Douglas, though, somehow sitting in the middle of the field. Douglas shedding tacklers and is brought down across the 45. And that is just some good old backyard football being played there, Andy.
And that's what Cahoy can do for you. He's got an arm. We knew he had a cannon going into this. And Brock Douglas staying with his quarterback. You see him waving his arm down the middle of the field. Hey, man, I'm open. I'm open. Credit Cahoy for looking him up.
30-yard pickup on 3rd and long. Now we see Sykes get his first carry of the ball game. He gets 1, maybe 2.
Yeah, and much like the Southwest offensive rushing attack, Grand Island likes to get a lot of running backs involved as well. Sykes, tough runner up the middle.
Twins to the near side here. 2nd and 8. Handoff for Francel. Right up the middle, and excuse me, I believe that was Sykes again. It was Sykes. Excuse me, but he got a nice pickup all the same.
Real nice pickup. I believe it kind of caught Southwest off guard there. Wouldn't expect him to go right back to Sykes with a very similar play. Make it 3 in a row.
Why not? Keep it going. Sykes chugs ahead for 6 more and a first down. That's the thing when you have so many weapons in this rushing attack. Literally, there's like 6 running backs who have more than 100 yards for Grand Island. It really makes things fun as a coach.
Well, now is a clever put together 3 plays there for Grand Island. Make it 4.
And the flag that comes in late as Sykes was tackled behind the line of scrimmage. We'll see what the call is here.
Yeah, they're trying to get Sykes outside, unlike the previous plays where they're going right up the A gap. There they're trying to work him outside. Southwest was ready.
5-yard face mask against the Silverhawks.
So incidental face mask, not a personal foul, but that's 5 yards and it stays first down. And let's see if Grand Island elects to go to Sykes a 5th play in a row.
So it's 1st and 8 officially. Spot foul. He was tackled a few yards behind the line of scrimmage. High snap. And nowhere to go for Francel. And that was McCormick blowing up that gap and not letting anything happen.
Caden McCormick is seeing the field really well right now. That's 2nd or 3rd time now that he's shot the gap as soon as he read where the ball was going. I like how he's playing within the defense too. He's taking care of his responsibility and he's making tackles for loss.
And McCormick bringing pressure again. Cahoy looking for Douglas up the seam and overshoots him.
And that's what pressure can do for you. You saw Southwest electing to send 6 defenders there. Made Cahoy deliver that ball just a little earlier than when he wanted to.
So now 3rd and long upcoming.
Now a lot of times you see Grand Island like to utilize that bootleg or rollout. Let's see if they look that up one more time here.
Silverhawks showing the bringing pressure. Flag is thrown. So that'll move the Islanders back 5.
I tell you what, the Islanders have had a couple costly penalties here in the first half. You know, 3rd and 11, you think you got a couple plays drawn up for that. 3rd and 16, that's a whole nother ball game.
Francel motions out of the backfield. And it's a draw for Sykes, who sprints forward, gets a good pickup, tackled at the 35. And again, now you might find yourself in that spot the Silverhawks were, where, hey, we're in that field position where maybe we just go for it on 4.
Cahoy looked to the sideline there after the pickup. Looks like Grand Island's going to go for it, not even think about it, playing with some pace here.
That was a pickup of 11, so 4th and 5. Cahoy staying in the pocket. Out route, and he hits his receiver. And it was Ben Riley with the pickup, and we have what could be a late hit here.
Yeah, they might get Brady Brickford on a late hit there, out of bounds. They're also talking to Taven Grigsby. But what a big boy throw there on 4th down. Cahoy stepping up, hitting his man right in front of the sideline.
Let's take another look at things here. And so he stepped out of play, and wow.
So it looks like Ben Riley might have got his bell rung a little bit there. And I think early in that play you saw Ben, he tried to make a quick cut and his feet went out of bounds. He tried to work upfield. Southwest defenders came up and still delivered the blow. I don't think there was any ill will there from the Southwest Silverhawks that are trying to finish off that play.
Well, then you have the confusion, too, of Riley suddenly just falling to the ground, and don't know if officials maybe thought that someone hit him that made him fall to the ground. Kind of a weird scenario of events that played out there, but Riley being checked out, so we're going to take a timeout. Ball on the 11 here. Grand Island driving here in the second quarter. And welcome back. Coming out of the timeout, they hand it off to Francel. Oh, man. Wow, did the ball pop out? Francel had a 10-yard pickup, but now there's a pile up for the ball.
And let's see where the ball is at the end of this scrum. Southwest saying they have it.
And you have Francel in there, and I think Douglas as well for the Islanders fighting for it. So Francel is holding on to it, and Silverhawk as well.
This might be the classic tie goes to the runner type deal. I still haven't. Okay, now they're motioning the Silverhawks. I don't know.
So it was Francel, and it was Taylor Boot Mahabong who's coming back from injury. Here's a look at the hit from Grigsby. And I don't know if we've even seen a signal yet. Actually, I think they did signal Silverhawk ball, but like you said, that's a good old-fashioned scrum, and
yeah.
I don't even know if we ever actually did get a signal from the officials.
I never saw one.
I mean, it looks like the Grand Island defense is out there.
Right, and the ball's on the half-yard line, the 1-yard line there. Tough spot to be in, but credit the Silverhawk defense for coming up, particularly Taven Grigsby delivering a blow there, jarring the ball loose, really saving a touchdown drive there for Grand Island.
So, okay, yep, the Silverhawk offense is coming out on the field, so that's the second fumble now for the Islanders here. But again, like you mentioned, pinned all the way back on the 1. Arley throws it and cannot connect with Preston Green there.
Kind of impressed with the play call there. Southwest really likes to run the ball. You would think if you ever wanted to run the ball and give yourself some room to breathe, that's on the half-yard line, the 1-yard line. Southwest opening up the playbook, putting it in the air on first down.
So 2-back set here for the Silverhawks, 3 wide. Hands it off to Wynn, who barely gets out of the end zone.
That was a gutsy run from Frazzy Wynn there as he was hit in the end zone. Leaned forward to get out. There's not much room there between the tip of the ball and the end zone.
So no gain. Lincoln Southwest still pinned back on the 1.
And you know Tomlin, being a defensive coach, he loves to bring the pressure regardless. You gotta think they're dialing up the blitz here on 3rd and long.
And we have a penalty, as you saw Silverhawks scrambling to get off the field on time.
It's going to be the good old 3-inch penalty. It's going to be half the distance to the goal. I think there's only about a half a foot in between there.
And then you saw the official signal for timeout. Not sure if it happened first or not, but like you mentioned, if it was a penalty, then a timeout.
Right.
It's 3 inches back or maybe 3 inches not back. Regardless, though, the Silverhawks wanting to talk things over here on 3rd and long. And there you see Riley getting checked out.
Yeah, I think Riley might still be a little dizzy from that hit he took on that big 4th down completion on the sideline. Kind of a scary moment there where he went to the turf after absorbing the hit and getting up. I think head coach Andrew Sherman for Southwest was looking at what we were. GI was lining up in a full blitz package. They might have sent some extra protection in there.
Now you have McCormick back to protect for Harnley. Going for it all. Long bomb. And Kojo Atikpahu onto the coverage. And that was nearly a huge catch by McKenzie.
Atikpahu did an excellent job of sticking with his receiver. It looked like he had it for a half second. Atikpahu, right at the end there, got his arm in there and knocked the ball loose. He was on an island. That was a full-out blitz, man-to-man coverage downfield. Grand Island's defense holding strong, forcing a punting situation here on 4th and 11.
McKenzie 6'4", Atikpahu 5'8". Only had him by 8 inches. Credit Atikpahu for making the play there.
Tell you what, we've seen it time and time again from the defensive backs here for Grand Island High School.
Booming punt. This is going to go past Douglas and roll out between the 40 and the 35, so that's about as good as you could have hoped for if you were the Silverhawks.
Right, you had the turnover. It really backed up Southwest. I mean, you want the turnover regardless, but where they were able to recover that ball within the 1 yard line really put that offense in a tough position. And now you have the Islanders set up very nice here. 5:37 left in the half. Good field position. Can they answer? Can they get on the board? They've stepped on their own toes time and time again here, whether it be penalties or turnovers.
And that was something, too, you heard Coach Tomlin talking about after that Millard West game. He said we did some things good, but there were some times where we did some things not so good that we were hoping that the Islanders would clean up here this week was the goal of practice.
Right.
And not to say they've been playing super sloppy, but like you said, 2 turnovers in the first half is not necessarily a recipe for success.
You know, you don't want to make up excuses, and I know Grand Island fans and Coach Tomlin doesn't want to hear it, but sometimes you're so amped up trying to get that revenge factor to avenge that loss that you had last week, and then also homecoming. A lot of emotion here tonight.
Play action here, wide open receiver in Sextro in the flat. This will be a first down and then some as he's tackled across the 30, a pickup of 10.
I'll tell you what, I really like how Grigsby, number 2 for Southwest, is coming up and making plays from the cornerback position. That was another big-time hit.
Grigsby, 43 tackles. He is second on the team in tackles as a DB, so that's not too bad. Also has 4 picks to lead the team.
Yeah, not bad at all, and I really like how Sextro covered up the ball with both hands as he took on that big hit from Grigsby.
Nice pick by Riley there. I believe he got 5 on that.
Grand Island's so good at that. After picking up a first down, they have just a short list of set plays that they like to come right back to. That's one of them right there to Riley.
Back to Riley again, this time nowhere to go. No gain on the play.
It's going to bring up the classic 3rd and 5. What's Grand Island going to want to do here? Are they going to go to the rollout? Are they going to go off tackle with the running attack, zone read, run pass option? Everything's available right now for Grand Island. What are they going to do? And then at the other side, well, we had a flag come in here. What do we got?
Looked like there were some extracurriculars. And it's actually unsportsmanlike against Lincoln Southwest.
Yeah, head referee Dan Walker going with the unsportsman here. That's a huge penalty.
So look at McCormick, number 7, standing up right there. And he must have said something because it was right in front of the ref, and it looked like it was Mateo Martinez who had his back to him.
Yeah, and you saw his teammates get in there and get him away trying to save that penalty. You got to keep your head. And that was such a huge position there. 3rd and 5 coming up. You could have got Grand Island off the field. Forced a punting situation.
So that puts the ball on the 13. Gahoy on the play action, and Sykes out on the flat, but what a hit. Preston Green coming up and making a big boy play.
I'll tell you what, Preston Green, Grigsby, all these defensive backs and outside linebackers for the Silverhawks are just swarming to the ball. rallying up and delivering, like you just said, big boy hits here tonight.
That was a pickup of 1. Sykes up the middle. Gets Mount 2. So a crucial 3rd and 7 here.
Yeah, this time it brings up a 3rd and 7. Zone read not quite picking up the yardage they're looking for there on 2nd down if you're a Grand Island fan.
You have Wentling and Sextro split out to the near side. Sykes coming out of the backfield. Cahoy with time, going to the corner, and just overshooting Douglas. No, excuse me, that was Sykes.
Really like the defensive play call there from head coach Andrew Sherman, giving them a blitz look, then backing out and going to full coverage. Cahoy really had that was a tight window there. There wasn't a lot of places for him to go with the ball.
So this will be a 27-yard attempt. Islanders going to try to kick this one. Wentling. It had enough barely, but it was wide.
It looked like the snapper and the holder and the kicker were not on the same page there. You saw Wentling kind of double clutch. Tough break for the Islanders. Credit the Silverhawks defense for making a good stand there late in the first half.
Head coach Jeff Tomlin and the staff here looking for some answers here. A couple fumbles, a missed field goal. You're still only down 7. Crucial possession here right before half, though.
Yeah, I feel like we kind of been harping on the Islanders for their penalties and their turnovers, but yeah, they're one play away from tying things up here.
Play action. Tarnley with time, and then is swarmed and brought down for the sack. And that was Francel.
Yeah, that's real tough sledding. Those slow developing plays on this attacking style defense for the Islanders. A lot of times they get home, as you just saw there on 1st down. Huge sack, bringing up a 2nd and 13.
Francel coming into this one with 5.5 tackles for a loss. Make it 6.5 after that sack. It was a loss of 3.
And that was a big one, kind of shutting things down on 1st down. As they're trying to get their offense the ball back before the half here.
And a win, nowhere to go there. He was met in the backfield by Mateo Martinez. No gain on the play.
Now you're seeing some gamesmanship. I thought we might see a timeout here from Grand Island. Has all 3 timeouts. They're going to force Lincoln Southwest to punt the ball if they do not pick it up here on 3rd down. You'd expect another timeout unless Southwest elects to put the ball in the air and it's incomplete. Smart move here from the Islander coaching staff.
And again, the Silverhawks got the ball to start the contest, so Grand Island, of course, will get it coming out of the break.
That's kind of a double whammy there. If you can score just before the half, then receive the ball, that really takes the wind out of the sails of the opposition. Really delays what they're trying to do within their game plan. Grand Island showing you some gamesmanship right here. Trying to take advantage of a short field and give their offense one more crack at it going into the half.
So 3rd and 13 here.
You saw some really nice coverage out of the back 4 from Grand Island. You got to expect they're going to send some more pressure here.
McCormick again into lead block, and that one well over Nick Leader, and so Grand Island will get the ball back with plenty of time here.
Not only do they have plenty of time, more than 4 minutes, that play only took 4 seconds since it was incomplete. That stops the clock automatically. They still got 2 timeouts in their back pocket.
And you would assume the Islanders will get fairly decent field position here as well. Douglas currently sitting at about the 43. And looks like we might have had movement prior to the snap. This will back the Silverhawks up further.
And you see the return man Brock Douglas also step up another couple of yards. I was thinking, if I'm Brock Douglas, I want to stay back. I want to run up on the ball. I do not want to allow another punt to get over my head and allow it to bounce. I want to keep it in front of me. Field position is pivotal here, especially at the end of the half.
High snap. And this is a high punt. This should be out of play. It'll be interesting to see where they mark it at.
Yeah, watch the line judge. He's going to walking up the field here. 34-yard line.
So great field position here for GI late in the half. 34 yards to go.
Yeah, and this doesn't even set up your traditional 2-minute drill since you're only at the 34-yard line with 2 timeouts. Time isn't that big of an issue. You just got to be smart with the football.
And Cahoy fakes the handoff to Sykes, tries with the reverse, but that did not have any of the Silverhawks fooled. Nowhere to go for Riley. There was about 5 Silver hats on the ball.
Yeah, Nick Leader might have been the first guy to the ball there. Big number 9, middle linebacker, holding it down. I'm sorry, defensive end.
Now Riley motioning out of the backfield. We have another flag. Looks like it's against the Islanders, and is.
And it's more of the same here for Grand Island. Really squandering a golden opportunity, going backwards on first down, 5-yard loss, then going backwards on second down before the play even goes off with a pre-snap penalty.
No back sit. Cahoy is being pressured from behind and brought down. And that was Leader. I think it'll go down as a sack, but it was about a loss of a half yard. Still a good pursuit from Leader.
Yeah, Leader's doing a really nice job at the bottom of your screen there from his defensive end position. Really working that swim move, going over the top with his left arm, getting tremendous penetration.
So 52 seconds and counting, but you look at where the Islanders started. They have that reverse play that's a loss of 5. Then you have the penalty. Then you have the sack, and you're even out of field goal range right now.
Yep.
Here comes pressure again from Leader. He hits him, and Cahoy is dragged down at the 45. Leader cannot be contained.
Back-to-back sacks for Nick Leader. Big number 9. Watch him at the bottom of your screen here. Big club move with the right arm there, and they're going to have to send help out there. They're going to have to move a back. A tight end's going to have to do a kick out to help with this pass rush that Nick Leader's getting on Cahoy right now.
Well, this just happened very recently. Nick Leader, though, just given preferred walk-on status to Nebraska. And I think we see why. Andrew Sherman told me in his game notes he's super fast. Well, I think we saw it there. And he said he looks skinny, but he is strong and he's fast. And that drive right there put it on full display, his talent.
Right, and you've heard it from the Nebraska coaching staff. They're looking for good frames right now, and they'll coach him up. They'll put the weight on him. And you're seeing that with Nick Leader right now. He's got a really great, really good frame, but I like how he plays with his hands. You saw him right there come under with the left arm, getting hands off of him, then coming back with a club move with his right arm, recording his second sack of the drive. Man, Grand Island really squandering an opportunity here to close out the half.
So 4th and almost 30. Islanders certainly are punting here. Southwest looking like they might bring pressure. Oh, wow. Now we have a flag in the backfield, and there was really no chance that that first down was going to be picked up. And it's holding against the Islanders. And wow.
What a turn of events these last 4 plays. It looked like Grand Island made a real nice defensive stop, set themselves up to maybe get an answer on offense, at least a field goal attempt to go into the half. The Silverhawks bringing the pressure, particularly from the outside. Mr. Nick Leader with his 2 sacks on 2nd and 3rd down. And now Grand Island just kind of imploding here to close out the half.
In Class B, scoring update, Seward's ahead of York and Beatrice leading Hastings. We'll take a look at more scores coming up on our halftime show shortly as the Silverhawks are on their own, or on the Grand Island 48, excuse me. And there's a little completion to Duvall. Pickup of 10.
And now, if you're a Lincoln Southwest fan, you got to be thinking, we're playing with a lot of momentum. We complete 1 or 2 more balls here. We got 2 timeouts to work with, or 1 timeout left. We know we got the leg. We know we got the kicker. We might get another field goal attempt here.
Harnley, pressure coming, and he is brought down. Pressure coming from the outside edge. That was Jordan Hofelt making the play.
Yeah, we've seen Hofelt do that a few times this year. And this game has really turned into a defensive battle. Both defenses making it really tough for the opposition. We thought it might be a high-scoring game with these 2 potent offenses. But like you mentioned in the pregame, Brandon, both teams kind of practice against their style of offense, and I think the advantage has really gone to the defense here this evening.
So the Silverhawks taking another timeout. Their last of the half to talk things over. 2nd and 15 upcoming, 8 seconds and change on the clock. I think you play for field goal range, you're going to have to do an out because you have no timeouts left. I guess if you pick up a first down, you can try to run up quick and spike it, but that'll be cutting things pretty close.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty difficult. You got to think Tomlin's saying use the out of bounds and play behind the deepest. Stay deeper than the deepest. This isn't a true prevent defense in, but they're still going to play it a little looser than normal.
Harnley rolling out, lets it rip, and we have pass interference. I believe that's Kian Wentling, but I don't know if that's necessarily the worst thing. If you're beat, you think your receiver is going to make a catch and potentially score at the end of half. It's a 15-yard penalty, and you will put the Silverhawks in field goal range.
Exactly. So you can't end the half on a defensive penalty. So now Southwest, they get the option here. Are you going to line up for the field goal attempt? Or are you going to chuck it into the end zone? Interesting decision here for head coach Andrew Sherman.
And here's a look at it again.
Yeah. Pretty easy call there as Alec Duvall started fading towards the end zone there late in that play.
And Jorgensen is in. So they're going to try to give this a go. It would be a 45-yarder. And now Coach Tomlin says, let's take a timeout, ice the kicker.
I think they want to not only ice the kicker, but you want to stay sharp here. A 40-plus yard field goal is not a gimme, so you don't want to be caught off guard. If Southwest does elect to go for the fake field goal here, you're on the road, you're up by 7, you kind of feel like you're playing with house money. So I would not be surprised if Coach Sherman kind of rolls the dice here and tries to go into the half here with a big score.
Again, Jorgensen, 5'9" senior. And you see him just taking his reps out there, visualizing.
Yeah, he's a senior. He's been here before.
It's always interesting, too, when you look into the psychology of if freezing a kicker or icing a kicker actually works or not. You'll sometimes have coaches call a timeout right before it's kicked, and then they'll miss it, then they'll come back and make it. Well, we'll just see what happens here. Again, a 45-yard attempt for Jorgensen. Looks like it has the distance, but he pushed it wide. And so 7-0 will be your score as we head to halftime. But again, a back-and-forth game here. Lincoln Southwest leading the Islanders as we head to halftime. Don't go anywhere. Stats, highlights, and analysis coming up shortly. And welcome back here to halftime. It's homecoming, of course. We mentioned that a couple times here at Grand Island Senior High, so we're now having the homecoming court being announced. We'll just turn it over to the PA announcer and let you guys take in this homecoming ceremony here at halftime for this extended coverage.
Emma Collins and Sam Sims. Our next couple is Miss Carla Bermudez Corona and Mr. Grant Miller. Bermudez. As the oldest child in her family, she will be the first to attend college. She's an active member in Grand Island Senior High Marching Band and Concert Band and is a 3-year band letterman recipient. She is in JV show choir and holds and serves as the senior enlisted advisor in ROTC. She has received a leadership award as a recruiting officer from ROTC, has participated in GISH musicals, and participated in student-directed one-offs. Upon graduation, Carla plans on attending the University of Nebraska at Kearney to major in English education. Grant is the son of Lee and Sherry Fuller. He was in the Iowa during all 4 years of his high school career. He's been an active participant in school's jazz band, wind ensemble, and marching band. Grant is in the top 2% of his class and is lettered in academics all 4 years at GISH. He's involved in National Honor Society and has received recognition for being an AP Scholar with honor. Upon graduation, Grant plans to pursue his major in music education at the University of Nebraska at Kearney. Carla Bermudez Corona and Grant Cole. Next up is Miss Hannah Gaffin. Hannah is the daughter of Ibrahim Jabira and Afisa Tutu. Hannah was born in Cairo, Egypt, and moved to the U.S. at the age of 2. Hannah's been on the GISH softball team for 4 years. She will soon start her 3rd year for the GISH basketball team. Hannah loves to dance anywhere and everywhere. When not in school, her hobbies include going on mission trips in the summer, going to fun church camps, and traveling. Upon graduation, she plans to attend college to become a psychologist. She would also love to do missionary work in underdeveloped countries after college. Chris is the son of Kevin and Sonia Pearson and a brother to Robin and John Pearson. He's a 4-year member of the Grand Island Senior High swim team and received his varsity letter in both his sophomore and junior years. Chris has won first place in the Nebraska Special Olympics state swim meet for the last 2 years. You have probably seen Chris working at Hula's, helping in the East office, and running with one of the flags on the Memorial Stadium sideline after frequent Islander touchdowns. Upon graduation, Chris hopes to go to the University of Nebraska in Lincoln. Hannah Goffin and Chris Pearson. Our next couple is Miss Abby Honedy and Mr. Austin Smith. Abby is the daughter of Ellen and Jason Hornady. She's the top 2% of her class, is recognized as an advanced placement scholar, has been on the academic honor roll all 4 years at GISH, and received academic letters each year throughout her high school career. She is the public relations officer for the Student Council, a member of the National Honor Society, is involved in Future Business Leaders of America, and the Superintendent Student Advisory Council. She was also a GISH tennis player, graduated from Youth Leadership Tomorrow, and competed in the Camper and Leadership Training Program at Chile, Colorado camps. Upon graduation, Abby plans to major in advertising and public relations with a double minor in business administration and psychology at the University of Nebraska-Lincoln. Austin is the son of Chad and Amanda Smith, is the older brother of Emma and Ethan Smith. He is the class president, a head student athletic trainer, a member of the Ultimate Image Varsity Show Choir, has participated in the school musicals Hunchback of Notre Dame and Mamma Mia, is a goalkeeper for the school soccer team, and is a member of the National Honor Society and Youth Leadership Tomorrow. He's in the top 2% of his class and has been a 4-time academic letter recipient, along with the honor of having been an AP scholar. Upon graduation, Austin plans to attend college and major in biomedical engineering. Abby Hornady and Austin Smith. And our final couple this evening is Miss Levitt Reno and Mr. Michael Nava. Levitt is the daughter of Frank and Claudia Reno and sister of Zita Ann. She is in the top 2% of her class, has been on the academic honor roll throughout her high school career, and is an advanced placement scholar. She is a member of the National Honor Society and is the treasurer of the Grand Island CPI chapter of the Future Business Leaders of America. Levitt is a band section leader and has lettered each of her 4 years while participating in marching band, wind ensemble, and jazz band. Upon graduation, Levitt plans to attend the University of Nebraska-Lincoln, pursuing a degree in computer engineering. And finally, Michael is the son of Amin and Huda Nadla and the oldest brother to Telfon, Liliana, and Nathan Nadla. He has been on the honor roll all for the past 2 years at Gish, and is also lettered in track his sophomore and junior years. He's an active member in the U.S. Army National Guard and plans to attend the University of Nebraska-Lincoln to study criminal justice upon graduation. Levitt Reno and Michael Nadla. Ladies and gentlemen, your 2018 football homecoming court. And now, the moment you've all been waiting for. It's time for this year's crowning of the homecoming king and queen. Mr. Max Bucky and Miss Katie Hogan will be crowning tonight's homecoming royalty. Your 2018 Islander football homecoming king is Mr. Chris Pearson. And this year's homecoming football queen, Miss Hannah Gaffar. Little hype dance from Hannah. Congratulations to this year's royal couple.
Well, congratulations to the homecoming king and queen, already conveniently placed right at the 50-yard line, and some dance moves as well. How about that?
You know, I talked to Mr. Chris Pearson during the pregame. He was in front of the student council there, all decked out in camouflage clothing. It's camo night here on homecoming, and he said, I got a chance to win this thing. I said, well, good luck, Chris. I'm going to give you a shout-out on the air, and how fitting, he takes home the crown as well.
Certainly exciting time for all the homecoming court and for the king and queen as well. Congratulations to everybody involved here. Still about 11 minutes in our halftime. We'll take another quick break from the USAVE Pharmacy halftime show. Come back with highlights, stats, and analysis here in Grand Island. Beautiful scene tonight for homecoming. Currently at halftime, as your halftime show is brought to you by your locally owned USAVE Pharmacy, where they support their communities and area athletes and are proud to be the low-price leader with the hometown touch. Find a location near you at usaverx.com. Well, we just crowned the homecoming king and queen. Let's get back to football action. Lincoln Southwest is leading Grand Island at 7-0. And if you're Grand Island, you're upset that you had 2 fumbles. You're upset that you had a few mishaps, but you're happy because you're only down 7 and you're getting the ball right now.
Yeah, for all the things that went wrong there for Grand Island, they're really not in a bad spot. They almost just handed Southwest a give-me field goal or even an attempt at a touchdown there to end the half when Grand Island had the opportunity initially with just over 2 minutes left there. But other than the takeaways, I mean, the turnovers are just glaring right now for GI. But I think Coach Tomlin's most disappointed in the penalties, those hidden yards that they're giving up in penalties, and you mentioned it there in the opening, Brandon. A few of them were very timely, where it was a 3rd and short, and then it brought up a 3rd and long. It really just killed the drive. There's too many drives that just stopped dead in its tracks due to those penalties.
And I think the real story, too, is how formidable this Silverhawk defense is playing. Because right now you have John Riley, 8 carries for 11 yards. He has been completely bottled up. In fact, Timo Sykes has had the most success on the ground. He has 5 carries for 31, and he just had a nice little series where he literally had 4 carries in a row. But I think, the Silverhawks obviously watched the tape. They knew that Riley is a very big threat, and so it was Tomlin and the coaching staff saying, hey, let's give this Silverhawk team a different look they're not used to. And Sykes has had the most success on the ground. Then you have Francel with 3 carries really for about 26 yards, but he had that 1 carry that he coughed it up right at about the 1 yard line that hurt the Islanders as well.
Yeah, not much doing for this potent offense for Grand Island. And you really got to credit Andrew Sherman, head coach of Lincoln Southwest, for really dialing up some nice run blitzes. I love how he sprinkles in his coverage attack versus blitz attack. He's not just always sending pressure. A lot of times it looks like pressure, and then they fall back into coverage. It's really keeping the new quarterback, Carson Cahoy, guessing here on offense. And you got to give all the credit to the world, to this Silverhawk coaching staff. They had a great game plan heading in here tonight. Let's see what adjustments are made at the half.
As for the Silverhawks, it's Frazzy Wynn leading the way, 43 yards on 11 carries. No real success otherwise besides Wynn on the ground. But the passing game, it hasn't been blowing anybody away for the Silverhawks, but it certainly has supplemented the rushing attack. There's been 5 completions in total. The leading receiver for the Silverhawks, actually Alec Duvall, 2 catches for 16 yards. He also had Nick Leader making a catch for 15, and also Grigsby had a catch for 2 catches for 11 yards, one of those being that 5-yard touchdown.
Yeah, the Silverhawks not really stepping away from what they do well, and that's running the ball and then turn it back to Grand Island, doing a really good job of containing these dangerous runners, and particularly Frazzy Wynn. He's got some serious speed. We saw that early in the first half. He was able to break some big ones off there, but after that initial drive, those first couple of drives in the first quarter, Grand Island made some adjustments and really bottled up that running attack. However, you said it, Harnley has done just enough passing to kind of keep the balance on their offense here for what really has been a defensive struggle. The game's only 7-0, but I like that when the Silverhawks do put the ball in the air, they're completing balls here.
Let's take a look at some of those highlights from the first half of action. Again, just a 7-0 ball game. Still a lot going on. Again, the big storyline, Carson Cahoy getting the start in the absence of Cole Evans. And pressure has been brought, and Cahoy's been hit a few times, and that was the first of 2 fumbles for the Islanders. That was recovered by Nick Leader, and here's the lone score of the ball game. Lakin Harnley doing a great job of extending the play, and then finds Grigsby just flashing to the corner, who hauls it in. That was a 5-yard pass. It came early into the second quarter. That was the opening drive for the Silverhawks. This is actually the Islanders' biggest gain and biggest play of the first half. Cahoy just letting it rip and finding Brock Douglas. Would end up being a 30-yard pickup, and that is the lone catch for Douglas thus far. Again, we talked about those turnovers really biting the Islanders, and this was Caleb Francel. Hard run, but the hard hit forced the ball to pop out right on the 2-yard line, and the Silverhawks would recover it as well. This is something else we're trying to keep our eyes on. Ben Riley went down in the second quarter, so take a look at it here. So he steps out, goes back in, and look at the hit. Right on the helmet. That's helmet-to-helmet collision. That was Preston Green, and then Riley appeared to be okay, and just a scary situation there as he goes down. We actually haven't heard in terms of the status, but know that he was carted off the field. And again, if you're an Islander fan, you know what Ben Riley can do, especially defensively. But the Islander defense came alive big time in the second quarter as well. A couple sacks. That one by Mateo Martinez as well as Wemhoff. But we had another sack for the Silverhawks, and that was Nick Leader, actually on that drive late in the second quarter. He had 2 in a row, and he has been something that's tough for the Islanders to deal with. So a lot of things happening in that first half, Andy, that both coaches are going to try to tweak and adjust and see what they can do coming out of the locker room.
Yeah, if you're just tuning in and you're seeing the score 7-0, I think what a boring game, but it's been anything but, especially with tick for tack defensively. The Silverhawks will get a couple of sacks to close out a drive. Grand Island will come back. They'll bring the pressure. They'll also record a couple of sacks on the following drive. And how fitting, 2 running teams here not getting their way. So the 2 biggest offensive plays, the touchdown for Southwest and the huge gain on third down for Grand Island, has come through the air.
We are under 5 minutes until the start of this third quarter. We'll take another quick break. Come back with some scores from across the state on News Channel Nebraska. Welcome back to Grand Island Senior High homecoming night, and the Islanders trailing Lincoln Southwest 7-0. Brandon Exman, Andy Klassen with you. We have some scores coming in from across the state. Class A, a big matchup, Omaha North and Bellevue West. Bellevue West, one of the top teams in Class A. As North is actually leading 24-22 just before halftime in that Class A contest. In Class B, Seward has an 8-7 lead over York as they are early in the third quarter. Also Beatrice, 21-10 lead over Hastings. And in more Class A action, 35-21 Lincoln High is leading Kearney. That is a team that pretty much everyone in the capital city is excited about, and a lot of people across the state keeping their eyes on.
Yeah, with good reason. They can put some points up on the board, and they can put them up in a hurry on you. You got to just try to contain that offense best you can. Kearney having some troubles here tonight.
Again, when you look back at this score, Grand Island actually outgaining the Silverhawks 97-69. Again, just those turnovers and penalties will do that to you.
Yeah, I'd be interested to see how many penalty yards they actually gave back compared to the yards actually gained.
I'd like to remind you that we are on social media. We are on Twitter. Our handle is @NCN Sports. Feel free to give us a follow, and we really encourage you to actually tweet at us. Just tweet us a message at NCN Sports. Tell us where you're watching from, who you're cheering for, anything else you might like to throw out there. We always love to hear where our fans are watching from and what they have to say. And if you're lucky, and when I mean lucky, I mean if you tweet at us, you'll get a shout out live on the air. Nothing better than that.
No doubt about it. Nolan Milas, number 87, was talking to his parents before the game. I said, tell you what, I'll give you guys a shout out here. Nice enough to talk with me, entertain me before the game. Tell me about the Silverhawk high-flying offense this year, leading them to a 6-1 record.
It's funny, too, because talking to Coach Sherman, he said, you know, we finished 6-4 last year. We lost to Bellevue West in the first round, but we lost 5 Division I athletes, all of who went to or walked on at Nebraska. And he said, everybody thought we'd be down this year.
Right.
And here we are, 6-1. Now we've switched up the way they approach things offensively, but they're doing just as good.
Yeah, and that's a credit to Coach Sherman and the fine job that him and his staff's done this year. They lost a lot of talent and really just took it with a next man up mentality. Like I said in the pregame, you are what your record says you are, and they're 6-1, Grand Island 6-1, and that's really how this game has played itself out here. 7-0 to open things up here in the second half.
I'd like to take this moment to remind you that the University of Nebraska Kearney is our streaming sponsor tonight. UNK is the most affordable university in the state. Quality academics matched with low tuition makes the University of Nebraska at Kearney a wise choice. Apply today and start making a difference. Visit unk.edu. So they fake the handoff to Riley to start things, and it's a screen pass and room to move for Francel and a big-time pickup on first down, and the Islanders are already near midfield.
Love the play design there from Coach Tomlin, finding his man Francel on the outside top of your screen there. You saw the play action, got the linebackers, outside linebackers and corners to lean in just enough. And then how about the block on the outside? Wetling really opening things up for his man Francel on the outside.
Pickup of 27. Now back to Riley on the ground. Silverhawks continue to keep him bottled up.
Feel like Southwest was ready for that. You see that multiple times from Grand Island through a night. After they have a big game, they pick up a first down, they go with a quick hitter right away, usually right up the middle to that number 5, John Riley.
Riley motioning out of the backfield. There's that swing pass. And he was unable to pull that in. And that play looked like it was pretty well covered from the get-go.
Yeah, that's not going to go in to the stat sheet, but Preston Green did an excellent job from his outside position, playing with leverage there, forcing the Riley to cut it back in before he even got the ball. He saw what was coming. Preston Green doing a real nice job in coverage, then adjusting to the ball.
This time there's a little slant route to Francel, and that'll be enough for a first down, pickup of 8.
Really like what Francel brings to the table as far as a receiver. It seems he always knows where he is on the field, knows where the sticks are, knows where he needs to get to pick up that first down. Well-designed play, but credit Francel for getting just beyond the sticks, picking up a big first down.
Now Sykes up the middle. It's 3 more. It's funny when you look at Francel. He's doesn't do anything flashy. He's kind of your utility guy, but he's also that big playmaker, it seems like, for the Islanders. He's reeling off huge runs game after game. He's accounted for double-digit touchdowns.
Yeah, you know, I'll call him the Jordan Spieth of this football team. He doesn't do anything like spectacularly, but he does everything really well.
There's another short gain by Sykes. Taking about 3rd and 7.
And going back to Francel, what really makes him so valuable out on the field is his ability to block. That's why he's in there all the time in that play action. When they do go to him, the defense isn't always ready for it.
Gahoy with time and finds Douglas on the post. That'll be a first down and then some as he's brought down near the 27-yard line.
You know, that was pretty good coverage from Green and Grigsby. Douglas doing a real nice job finding the spot in that zone defense, sitting down and allowing Gahoy to deliver the ball.
Fresh set of downs for the Islanders as Francel motions, and he gets the ball on the handoff. Trying to do that little end around, not much there.
Yeah, Grand Island wastes no time after picking up a first down. They try and snap the ball real quick. As soon as that thing is set by the referee, they want to get the ball in motion. More times than not, Southwest has been ready.
Ball now on the 25. Play action. Ball is tipped, and my goodness, Grigsby thought for a second he might have had a pick 6.
And I think Easton Boyd, big number 14, got his big mitts up in the air there. Batted it up as well. Look at it right here. Oh. Yeah, and Grigsby, if he would have been a step faster there, closer to the ball, that might have been a pick 6.
Silverhawks bringing pressure right up the middle. Gahoy has to let it fly. This time it's picked off. Grigsby has it, and he's brought down near the 30, but that is the 3rd turnover for the Islanders here tonight.
And that's exactly how you draw it up. If you're a Silverhawk fan, you send the pressure, you make the quarterback throw the ball before, he sails it just a little bit. You had Taven Grigsby playing center field beautifully there, coming up to the ball. Easy pickoff for number 2.
Islanders again continuing to drive, continuing to pick up yard. They're just unable to cap off any of these drives so far.
And that was a nice looking drive that Grand Island was working on. Southwest coming up with another big turnover.
And nowhere to go for Frazee Wynn.
Yeah, you got to think Frazee's getting pretty frustrated down there. He usually has about 100 yards racked up by now in a typical ball game. GI doing a real nice job of containing him for the most part.
No gain on the play. 4 wide here for the Silverhawks, back to Wynn. Another big hit at the line. And that was Hofelt laying the wood.
Yeah, you're just seeing real nice hat on hat, helmet on helmet defense right now for GI. The D linemen are gobbling up the offensive linemen, allowing these linebackers to run free, rally up, and make the play.
Another handoff to Wynn. And it'll be close. I think he's going to be about a yard and a half short.
Yeah, it looked like Wynn only had a short gain there, but then he had the spin move and sprung forward, bringing up a 4th and short here. Well, Southwest going to get a little tricky. Are they feeling it, or are they just going to send out the punting unit?
Punting unit is out on the field. Jorgensen. Douglas back at the 32.
You know, you're on the road, homecoming, hostile environment. You're leading. Why not protect that lead? It's early in the second half here.
High punt. Douglas decides to field it. Good coverage by the Silverhawks there.
Really like how Brock Douglas came up and fielded the ball, caught it cleanly, but when you're in the middle of so much traffic, nothing hurts to go ahead and call a fair catch there. Save yourself a couple hits and the opportunity to put the ball on the turf.
So the Islanders trying to find a way to just complete one of their drives. Still just a 7-point ball game.
Yeah, you're exactly right. You're one play away from tying it up.
Riley finds space up the middle, and that is the Riley we're used to seeing. His biggest run of the game.
Riley carried the ball there with really good vision, seeing that little cut back lane, putting his foot in the ground and getting upfield. Good for a 9-yard gain there on first down.
Now he gets this little swing pass. Cuts it up and maybe gets back to the initial line of scrimmage.
Yeah, I really like the demeanor that the Silverhawk defense is playing with right now. They're quick to read, they're quick to react, they're all rallying to the ball. Playing very good assignment defense.
Boy hands this one off, and Riley lowers his shoulder and gets the hard yards and a first down.
Boy, you ain't kidding. That was some tough running there right off tackle.
That was tackled by Easton Boyd, but not before the first down.
Yeah, you saw the lineman kick out there, and then those linebackers for Southwest filled the gap in a hurry.
It's Riley again on the swing pass. And nice cut, making a few defenders slip, and that's actually an 8-9 yard gain.
You know, I really like how the Grand Island coaching staff, they're not afraid to ride the hot hand. And right now it's Riley.
That is his 6th reception. Again, pretty much all of them have been those little swing passes. Back to Timo Sykes. No gain there.
And I know Carson Coy's had some mishaps here. He's let some balls kind of sail on him and get away from him, but he's been under heavy pressure on a lot of those interceptions. Not all of that's his fault.
3rd and 2, Riley up the middle, getting a push by his buddy. And this is all going to depend on the spot. You saw Javier Cruz try to help him out.
I think he's going to be a little short here. Grand Island's already lined up. You got to think it's going to be a quick hitter right up the middle. And Southwest looks like they're stacking the box here.
Islanders looking to the sideline for the call.
Going with the hard count. Credits the Silverhawk defensive front for not jumping.
Right to Riley, and my oh my, that extra effort might have got it for him, but who knows? He looks like he still could be short. That Silverhawk push up front was so big.
Yeah, and Riley with an excellent spin move. Look at it right here, that second effort. That's what got him there. And he just barely got that to give him forward progress. I think we're going to have a measurement here.
I don't know. Looks like the defense is actually out on the field for the Islanders. Not even going to measure for it. That surprises me.
I thought I saw the near side, the bottom of your screen. I thought I saw that line judge beyond the first down marker. Not the case.
Oh, turnover on downs, and Wynn doing what he does best. Still going. That'd be close to a 10-yard pickup.
Wynn has that 8.5-yard average, trying to get that average back here tonight. You just saw it right there in that run. Things were not developing for him outside. He had the wherewithal to put his foot in the ground and get upfield. And he has such tremendous speed. He's able to get 10 yards there on first down.
Nearing that 4-minute mark, 7-0 your score on the Aurora Co-op scoreboard. Go green with E15. Philip at your nearest A stop today.
Yeah, nothing doing for Wynn on that play. He tried to reverse field. Grand Island was all over it. And you almost feel like Grand Island, the way that they're stacking the box, they're bringing 9 guys inside, leaving their corners isolated out on an island. They're man-to-man coverage, no help behind. You kind of feel like they might be vulnerable on a couple pass plays here.
2nd and 14 to the air for the Silverhawks. Completed. Hauled in there by Duvall for his 3rd reception.
Real nice pickup. I really like how the Silverhawks have been able to move the ball through the air. Duvall does a real nice job of working that sideline.
Big 3rd down here. Harnley evading the rush, trying to throw it over the top. It's through the hands. Oh my goodness. Of Duvall. He just caught that last pass, and there was no question that was 6.
That was a give me. And Harnley, what an excellent job of avoiding the rush. Once again, buying time, going to his right, rolling to his right, and just dropping a dime in there for his buddy Duvall. And that might have been one of those cases where Duvall was just too wide open, too much space around him.
Man, oh man, that was potentially a game changer.
Missed opportunity there for Southwest.
That takes a Silverhawk bounce initially, then goes back the Islanders' way, down near the 10. I'd like to remind you this broadcast is help made possible by Central Nebraska Orthopedics. From advanced surgical techniques to sports medicine expertise, Central Nebraska Orthopedics is dedicated to the motion of life. Brandon Axman, Andy Klassen with you. Glad that you're here for this Class A matchup has not been short on action.
No, it has not. Well, the Islander offense getting another crack at it here. Now we've seen their drive stall out in every single way possible. Turnover on downs, turnover on interceptions, fumbles, penalties. Let's see if they can get things back on track here.
Riley picking up about 4.
And we've seen both offenses do a pretty decent job moving the ball between the 20s. But when they get on the other side of the field, things start to tighten up, and the yards come really hard to come by.
Now to the air, and Sykes hauls it in. That's a pickup of 11.
Sykes is another one of those guys that just does a little bit of everything for Grand Island. Yeah, that's a real tough play to defend against. You have a Silverhawk down on the field, but you saw the initial play action off the zone read. Then he had a crossing route underneath, really opening things up there for Sykes.
And that is Grigsby.
Ooh.
Being helped off the field, and he is a major part of this Silverhawk defense.
Yeah, let's hope that it's nothing major and we get to see that young man back here tail end of the third quarter into the fourth quarter. Previous drive came up from his free safety position for another interception. Like I said, Brandon, a big part of the Silverhawk defense.
Cahoy hands it off. And another short pickup. That was Francel.
Now, if you're a Grand Island fan, I don't think you want to see your team get too conservative with their offensive play calling. You got to allow Cahoy to throw the ball down the field. Maybe bring in an extra blocker for more protection. Just run 1- and 2-man routes.
Cahoy going for it all. Has Douglas. It's hauled in near the 40-yard line. And a big-time pickup. 32 yards to Douglas.
And that's what I was talking about, Brandon. You had the Silverhawk defense kind of creeping up on you, trying to take away the underneath stuff, taking away the run all night long. They're down a man in Grigsby back there, going over the top to the sure-handed Brock Douglas. Excellent timing, excellent play call for the Islander offensive coaching staff.
That was excellent concentration. It looked like Gabriel Davis even might have hit Douglas a little early. And Sykes unable to catch that one. And that's that scary situation where you don't know if it's a fumble or an incompletion. Officials, though, say it was a forward pass, incomplete.
Yeah, that's one of those dangerous play calls. If the defense is looking for it and they're kind of reading it and they're getting into your backfield with that type of penetration, that's a dangerous play to try and execute.
And off to Sykes, and he finds a little bit of room through the middle. 6 or 7 more.
Yeah, tough running there for Sykes. You thought that was shut down earlier in the run, and that's kind of what the passing offense can do for you. Kind of softens up that middle. Brings up another big 3rd and 5.
All on the 33, another 3rd down. Cahoy fakes the swing pass, going deep. And was that caught?
Whoa.
There's no flag, and then finally the flag comes in late, but Sykes, I haven't seen a call. He may have caught in that.
I think he did. Back shoulder. Great awareness for the receiver.
Oh, wow.
Was that Wetling, number 17? Who was that man?
It might have been. Yeah, that was Wentling, excuse me. Nice catch there. Being grabbed back shoulder. I think that landed on his arm, and then he hauled that in. My goodness.
I think it's the catch and pass interference. It was a late flag, but it was the correct flag that came clear across the field. And when you want to talk about making an adjustment to the ball, how about Wetling there? The back shoulder catch.
What a play.
Wow. On 3rd and 5, GI deciding to put the ball in the air and going for it all, going deep.
Get another look at it here.
Now's Bickford with the coverage. Just got his hands on him a little too much there.
15-yard pickup. First down. Excuse me, 25-yard pickup. And there's some trickery. There's Sykes. Gain maybe 1 or 2.
That's Preston Green, the big 6'1" senior, doing what he's been doing all night. Rallying up to the ball from his outside linebacker position. Really taking away that play before it got going. Tell you what, these Silverhawks got some players on defense.
Fakes the handoff this time to Francel. Cahoy flushed out of the pocket. Leader almost brought him down, and Cahoy keeps it going and gets the first down.
Yeah, that one might be coming back. We have a couple flags down on the field. Might have been a hold early on there.
And you're right, Andy. This one is coming back.
Yeah, I think you had Kenzer Saunders there applying pressure. He might have got there just a little earlier if he wouldn't have got held up there in the middle of all that.
So that takes it all the way back to the 30.
Yep. And for the past 2 plays, Grand Island's gone backwards, bringing up a 2nd and 22.
Sykes motioning across. Pressure again. Leader takes down Cahoy for his 3rd sack.
Leader's still down.
That would be a welcoming sight for Grand Islander fans in terms of just from the competitive standpoint, because Leader has caused so much issues. You never want to see a player hurt.
Right.
And I don't know if he might have pulled an arm muscle or something.
Well, he hasn't moved his right leg either. Let's see. Oh, a little bit of a leg whip, I think.
My goodness, Leader has been everywhere, though, tonight.
That'd be his 3rd sack here tonight. He's one of those big-time players I was talking about on the defensive side for these Silverhawks.
Well, they helped him up. He's walking off the field, and we're done for this quarter of play. 12 minutes left in this one. A 7-0 slugfest. Don't go anywhere. Fourth quarter, here we come. Brandon Axman, Andy Klassen with you. We have some confirmation from the sidelines. It was what appeared to be a leg whip for Leader. They were checking out his ankle in between the quarter, and we're going to keep our eyes on that. But it looks like we may have a penalty against GI to start things.
Looks like a illegal formation type call here on 3rd and 30. Okay, they're waving the flag off. Regardless, you're looking at a 3rd and 30. Another, what looked like a nice drive initially for Grand Island, stalls out. Bringing up this 3rd and long situation. Now, Southwest has done a little bit of everything here when they do get Grand Island into these 3rd and long situations. Sometimes they blitz. Sometimes they show blitz and fall out and go into full coverage. Be interesting to see what Coach Andrew Sherman dials up here.
And you see it too every time the Islanders get in what you would say is field goal range. Like you mentioned, it seems to be the curse. Yeah. Once they're there, bad things start happening for them, and they always start going backwards.
Just off the top of your head, you can think of 2 situations where they're well within field goal range, and then a sack and a couple penalties later, they're well out of field goal range. And now all the momentum shifted over to Southwest.
But we keep going back to the exact same point. It's still just a 7-point game for the Islanders.
And the Islanders have the game breakers to tie this thing up here.
It's like a no back set here. Well, Riley coming in off the sideline, so he'll stand next to Cahoy. Here comes the pressure. Cahoy looking for Douglas, who gets separation. And I think he hauled that one in.
He did. That was
out
excellent.
at the 3-yard line.
Excellent play call. Love what GI did there. Max protect. They brought in Sykes from the top of your screen down. He helped from the fullback position. Riley came up. It was only a 3-man route. No doubt about it. Going to Brock Douglas, the big-time receiver. Time and time again, he's been able to haul in those huge gains for the Islander offense.
The junior is a gamer. First and goal to go from the 3, and it goes over Cahoy's head. My goodness. It continues here for the Islanders. And Cahoy, this wouldn't be good. Gingerly gets up.
So you're looking at a first and goal. With one snap, turns it into a 2nd and 21. The offensive woes continue for the Islanders. And now you're thinking, if you're an Islander fan, please just don't go back any further. At least let's salvage a field goal attempt out of this.
Here comes the pressure. Jailbreak screen, and no one's home. Nowhere to go but into the end zone for Timo Sykes. A 21-yard score, and that is a play called to perfection.
That was perfect timing, perfect execution for the Grand Island Islanders. Sykes catching them completely off guard. Look at the bevy of offensive linemen out in front of him here. Going in untouched for the 6.
21-yard jailbreak screen. We're an extra point away from tying this thing up. And we have ourselves a 7-7 ball game, folks.
And we've seen a little bit of everything here tonight. What an answer for the GI offense, coming off another what looked to be a blunder down in the red zone.
Don't go anywhere. This one's just heating up. 11 minutes and change to go. We'll be back. Well, if you don't first succeed, try again. And that has been the story for the Islanders here tonight. They finally got on the scoreboard. Their defense has been doing its job as well. It is a 7-7 ball game, but Coach Tomlin not going to be happy about that. Illegal procedure on the kick. Take another look at this. They've been bringing heat from that linebacker spot all game, and you see them split, 2 of them on the far side going to the flat, and nobody in the middle of the field, Andy.
Yeah, leaving Sykes alone there. You saw what the defense for Southwest was trying to do. They were trying to take away John Riley, who they go to a lot of times in those situations. Excellent play call and excellent execution for the Islander offense. And how about Brock Douglas? 4 receptions, 112 yards.
The Silverhawks will start on the 35. See if they can answer. They go straight to the air, and there's a nice completion by Lincoln Southwest. That was hauled in by Grant McKenzie, that big 6'4" target.
McKenzie did a real nice job working from the top of your screen across the field, hauling that one in just before the sideline. And now you're seeing both offensive units starting to open up their playbook.
First down, it's back to the ground. And Wynn is tackled by Alex Rodriguez after a nice little pickup.
That was a nice pickup. Wynn had an opportunity to try and break it outside. I like the decision he made there to cut it up and get the yardage that he could. Grand Island does a really nice job of stringing those type of plays out for no gain or little gain. Wynn doing a good job cutting it upfield.
Rolling out as a wide open receiver, and it's hauled in, so the passing game is heating up here for the Silverhawks. That was Chase Ryan with the catch.
Well, I thought Lakin Hartley has done a nice job delivering the ball all night long. They haven't gone much to the passing game, but when they do, he's been able to put a nice spin on the ball. You find his receivers.
Arnley this time hands it off to Wynn, who nearly got around the edge. Caleb Francil with a tackle.
Yeah, that's a nice 1-2 punch when you get things working through the air. Then you go right back to Mr. Wynn, the speedster running back.
Three-yard pickup. Going for it all. Jump ball, and it was nearly a tip drill. Wentling couldn't quite grab it. Atikpahu was on the coverage. That's the second time he's won that battle against McKenzie.
Watch Atikpahu. He had perfect position. He was measuring that up the whole time. Saw number 15, Grant McKenzie, making a nice break on the ball late. Otherwise, I think Atikpahu would have got away with another interception.
3rd and 7.
Oh, what a football game we've been treated to here tonight.
Wynn got through that first wave of defenders, stripped from behind, and jumped on by G.I. And it's Wentling who gets it. The Islanders get its first turnover of the ball game.
And it's Mr. Caleb Francil, the guy that's not too flashy but always comes up with the play when you need him, that knocked it loose.
What a play. And the Islanders are riding the wave of momentum right now.
Caleb Francil did a real nice job from his outside linebacker position, catching up to Wynn, and then you saw the nice strip there. Great camera work by our crew from the end zone.
GI starting on its own 17. And a ball popped out there. Kojo Atikpahu
Oh boy.
is in on offense. That's not something we've seen too often here.
No, it's really not. It's also kind of interesting to see the ball hit the turf this this often. Usually both these teams are pretty sure-handed with the football.
So 2nd and 12, that was a loss of 2. Riley cutting it up, gets across the 15. Maybe a yard.
Yeah, Riley did a nice job of cutting that one upfield, but you got to credit the Southwest defense for playing disciplined defense, especially up front, churning the ball carrier back in to the pursuit. Riley really had no option to try and bust that one outside. He just took what he could get.
Cahoy pressured, throws it up, and the flag does come in. Pass interference on 3rd and long, and Grigsby's pleading his case.
Yeah, they're trying to say non-catchable, but you had the free safety come over and kind of deliver that late hit. And how can you say it was uncatchable when you never allowed the receiver to go make a play on the ball? There it is, Grigsby late. And that's just the rules of the game. You cannot contact the receiver there in that position.
That was Matt Ergensmeyer running up the seam. The Islanders giving a gift right here.
Kind of hurts me to say, being an old defensive back there, I hate seeing the flags come out on those guys. But that was one of the easier calls for this officiating crew tonight.
We have seen great defensive back play by both teams. Really great defensive play.
Yeah.
I don't know if either of us guessed this would be a 7-7 ball game here in the 4th quarter.
I know I didn't, so you really got to credit both these defensive units.
Back to Riley. and squirted through an initial surge of defenders and gets a couple.
Yeah, gutsy run there for Tour. Well, they're going to give 4 yards there. Nice second effort.
Fransel trying to get to the corner and nowhere to go. McCormick and company doing a good job in the pursuit.
Yeah, and company, you're exactly right. Southwest has done such a nice job on the edge, not allowing these ball carriers for Grand Island to get to the spot they want to be at.
Gahoy going for it all. This time a little miscommunication between the quarterback and the receiver. And GI will have to punt.
Yeah, and Easton Boyd did a real nice job of measuring that play up, not allowing Fransel to work the sideline. And I think you're right, Brand. There may have been a little miscommunication between quarterback and receiver.
And high kick, not the most distance on it. It pops up and goes out near the 40.
It's a very nice way to put that. Not the most distant on it. I'm sure that's what all the Grand Island fans are thinking out there.
I'll take it. I guess it was about a net punt of 24 if I'm doing my math quickly. So, but if there's something we've seen, this Grand Island team's been resilient tonight.
Yes. Both teams, for that matter, have had untimely penalties, turnovers, and all things are knotted up here midway through the fourth quarter.
Time for Harnley. He lets it rip as his receiver. It's hauled in. And nobody is going to catch him. Chase Ryan, a 59-yarder, and the Silverhawks are back on top.
Ryan did a real nice job of splitting the defenders, hauling this one in traffic, keeping his feet, allowing him to finish this one off and get to the end zone. Look at him look around like, where is everybody? This has been a game of big plays, none bigger than that. Midway through the fourth quarter, putting Southwest back on top.
Jorgensen looking to make it a 7-point lead here. And he does just that. Silverhawks trying to play spoiler here over the Islanders. Plenty of football left to play. We'll be back. Welcome back. The Islanders are going to try to answer here after that 59-yard connection from Harnley to Rennie. And here's a huge return to Douglas into Southwest territory, brought down near the 40. And that is what the Islanders needed.
That's exactly what they needed to kind of kickstart this offensive drive, try and answer and get this thing all knotted back up.
So huge return by Douglas. And the Islanders are going to try to score again, clearly, to answer to the Silverhawks' big-time play. Again, Harnley hitting Rennie, 59-yard score.
Yeah, and that was a slow developing play. You really got to credit the big fellas up front. Noah Buss, Drake Sherman, Caleb Cutter, all those guys giving the quarterback plenty of time to deliver that ball down the field.
So 3 wide to the far side. Now Atikpahu takes the reverse. It's a double reverse. Here comes Douglas. And credit again the disciplined Silverhawk defense. Short pickup.
Yeah, a lot of show there for not much yardage. Backside of that Southwest defense, staying home.
Pickup of 3.
Brady Brickford, the 6-foot senior, most notably.
Riley has a lead blocker, tries to cut it back. Nothing doing. Maybe two more.
How about the job, Caden McCormick, big number 7, the outside linebacker for Southwest. The job he's done tonight, churning that play in. He's not getting credit for the tackle, but he made Riley churn that ball in back to the defense. Didn't allow him to get outside and use his speed. That's just, once again, disciplined defense, team defense for the Silverhawks.
Here comes heat right up the middle. Gahoy on the seam, and it's hauled in. Sykes with the catch. Pickup of 8 and a first down.
Tell you what, this Grand Island offensive coaching staff's really got a nice groove going to their play calling. It looked like they ran a play right into the blitz as it was a play action, and they were able to dump a pass right over top of that or behind that blitz. Well-timed play call again.
Pressure again. There's that screen. That time, Sykes cannot haul it in. Looked like they had it, though, again, Andy.
Yeah, it looked like the correct call there, catching that aggressive, blitzing Southwest defense. Cahoy was able to get that pass off in some traffic. Sykes just took off a little early there. You got to reel that in before you leave.
Second and 10. Riley nowhere to go. Hit behind the line of scrimmage for a loss.
Yeah, and that's that disciplined defense we're talking about. Little misdirection there. Everyone staying home for a big loss on second down, bringing up a 3rd and 14.
Another 3rd and long. Can the Islanders capitalize? Sykes motioning to the far side. Cahoy airing it out into double coverage. And Grigsby nearly had another interception.
Yeah, Grigsby was playing Douglas the whole way. Douglas, I think he heard footsteps a little bit there. But I thought Grigsby, if he would have just played the ball and not the man, he might have had a chance for a real easy pickoff there. I like the defensive play call as Southwest elected to bring 5. They brought the pressure. They brought an extra guy.
Offense staying on the field here on 4th and 14.
Agree with the call. 5 minutes left. You're down a score.
Here comes pressure on the edge. Cahoy steps up. A tip drill, and it's picked. It's Grigsby with his 2nd interception, and he's in a foot race. He has wheels. Grigsby cuts it up. Still going. Reversing the field. Grigsby is going to take this all the way to the house. My goodness.
What a play from end zone to end zone, basically, for Grigsby. And this time he did. He stayed back and he played the ball. Look at it right here.
He intercepted it at the 6-yard line. That is a 94-yard pick 6. And he ran more than 94 yards, as you see here.
And now you're just seeing the vision that he has as a return man coming into play. And look at him direct traffic, get his blockers out in front of him as he waltzes into the end zone. Grigsby making it look easy for the Silverhawks.
And on 4th down, at first I'm thinking, oh, well, you should have just let it drop because you'll have better field position when Grigsby first caught it. And then next thing I know, he's in the end zone and has a huge play for the Silverhawks.
Yeah, Mr. Grigsby had different ideas there, and rightfully so. And that may have been the dagger.
We would like to welcome now the audience joining us from the north portion of our viewing area on News Channel Nebraska. You were treated to the Pierce Blue Jays victory over West Point. Beamer now joining us in progress. Lincoln Southwest and Grand Island battling on homecoming. Both teams 6-1 entering this game. And if you just saw that play, Grigsby, the 94-yard pick 6.
Yeah.
Huge for this game. Coming into this one, the Silverhawks had a 7-0 lead at halftime. Grand Island evened things up early in the fourth with a jailbreak screen to Timo Sykes to make it 7-7. But the Silverhawks on their last offensive possession have made some huge plays. 59-yard touchdown pass, and now this play you'll again see right here. Grigsby taking it all the way to the house. What a play.
Tevin Grigsby doing an excellent job playing that safety position, not letting the guy get behind him, staying deeper than the deepest. And then it was just tip drill. And then once again, you saw the vision that he has as a return man. When he got into the open field, the Islanders were in trouble, and that may have been the dagger. You know, in the pregame, we talked about these two high-flying offensive units. Somewhat surprising that it's been a defensive struggle here tonight, as both defensive units have played extremely well here tonight.
Now here comes Douglas. And he's across midfield again, and it certainly isn't over for the Islanders. Of course, they need a quick score, then you need to get a defensive stop, but there is still plenty of time.
We've seen this Grand Island unit score and score fast before, as they scored 2 touchdowns within 3 minutes this past Thursday to force overtime on the road in Millard. They're going to need some more of that magic here tonight.
So the Islanders starting on the Silverhawk 47.
And now you're seeing a little bit of an adjustment from this Southwest defensive unit.
And nowhere to go. Easton Boyd, I don't even know if he was touched as he flew in and wrapped up Cahoy.
Yeah, that was really just a different look from the defense, kind of confusing that offensive line, that offensive front for Grand Island as they put multiple guys back. Yeah, and Easton Boyd, who's typically back in coverage or coming from his outside linebacker position, went unblocked right up the middle.
2nd and 18 now for GI. And there, Cahoy just missing Sextro.
Yeah, timing was off there. The adjustment that I was really looking at was Caden McCormick. Middle linebackers, usually he's got his nose in the middle of everything. They got him lined up really deep right now, trying to help out with that pass coverage. And Southwest still able to apply some pressure here.
And Cahoy misfires. It's picked off again by Grigsby. His 3rd interception. And actually we have a flag on the field. Roughing the passer.
Oh.
Islanders clinging to life here. Let's get another look at it. I think that was Taylor Boot Mahabong who made the hit. Boot Mahabong, that 6', 205-pound linebacker. So instead of an interception that certainly would have iced the game, Grand Island is back in business. At least they still have a chance. Ball now on the 40.
Yeah, new life for Grand Island. I don't think the referees liked how he took the quarterback to the ground late in the play.
And there's Douglas, big hit, but Douglas still able to haul it in. That was Alex McIntyre.
McIntyre did a real nice job of breaking on the ball and tackling with his helmet up. A lot of times you'll see a defenseless player call helmet to helmet type of targeting flag come in. McIntyre playing that one perfectly.
There's that screen to Douglas this time. And he gets enough for a first down.
Nice pickup. Easton Boyd did a real nice job coming over from his middle linebacker position, not allowing Douglas to break it back across the field like where he wanted to go with the ball.
Pressure again, another quick hitter. I believe that's Sextro. Oh, excuse me. Ace McInnes. So we've seen both cornerbacks, Tikvahu and McInnes getting some PT on the offensive side.
And credit Grand Island for taking what the defense has given them, but they're running out of time, and Southwest is more than comfortable allowing them those short passes underneath.
Cahoy doing it with his legs. Another first down for the Islanders.
And another flag in the backfield. And I believe you're going to have a face mask on the offensive line trying to get a late block in there for Cahoy. And I mean, we're getting kind of late in the game here, but there again, you had a 2nd and short. You were moving the ball. Grand Island commits another costly penalty.
Islanders going all the way back to the 45.
You know, and this game has been a game of big plays, momentum shifting plays, interceptions, fumbles. But I think if you're a coach on the Grand Island sideline, you can look back to these penalties as to why this game was lost at home.
Pump fake by Cahoy, wrapped up yet again as he goes to the ground. This Southwest defense has been relentless, very impressive tonight.
Relentless is the exact right word to describe it right there. Because we're seeing down the stretch they're just bringing 3 and 4 pass rushers, going with maximum pass defense there, bringing an extra guy in to help over the top, and they're still getting to Cahoy.
3rd and 31. Cahoy on the run. That gives the Islanders a shot here on 4th down. Sykes with the catch.
Yeah, and I would expect to see more of the same here for Grand Island. Maybe a designed rollout for Cahoy. He's very comfortable throwing the ball when he's rolling to his right. You're going to have to pick up a big chunk of yardage here. 4th and 16.
Cahoy searching for Douglas, and that's a pass interference call.
And I don't like it if I'm a Southwest fan, but I don't mind it. Douglas had a step on his man. Go ahead and commit the 10-yard penalty, the pass interference penalty there, but do not allow a touchdown.
Islanders continuing. They have just a little bit of a pulse. It's not over yet.
Well, if you're a Grand Island fan, you just want to try and get a score in here and set yourself for that onside kick and just let the chips fall where they may. But first, you got to take care of business here and get one in the end zone. And it's a 4th and short after that penalty, so they still got to get a first down here.
Riley. He's going to get it. His 18th carry.
Grand Island has 3 timeouts. They got to start thinking about using those timeouts. And there you go.
Waiting for the chains to get set. Cahoy on that little out route, incomplete.
Like the play call though, you gotta try and work the sidelines. The sidelines are your friend now. If you're a Grand Island receiver, you want to catch the ball, secure the catch first and foremost, but then get out of bounds. Stop that clock.
Trips here to the near side. Cahoy with time. Now he's rolling out. And unable to connect with Douglas. 3rd and 10.
Very difficult play there. Cahoy rolling to his left, trying to throw it back right to his man Douglas. Credit Easton Boyd for applying more pressure from that middle linebacker position. He's just been living in the backfield here all game long.
Another penalty. old on the Islanders.
And that seems to be a penalty that comes up a lot of times on those long plays where you're asking those offensive linemen, those tight ends, to try and pass protect for an extended period of time.
Incomplete there, nice play. Who else? Grigsby. He has had a night.
Taven Grigsby timed that one up perfectly, jarring the ball loose right at the last second. Now you have just under a minute left here. If Grand Island wasn't in desperation mode, they are in it now.
There's hauled in once again by the sure-handed Douglas. Still though a long way to go here on fourth.
Oh, Brock Douglas, he's a gamer, isn't he? In the return game from his receiver spot. He's put on a show here tonight.
Islanders taking a timeout. For up your best 4th and 19 play you got, Andy.
Well, I still like the ability that Carson Cahoy has passing the ball and how comfortable he is rolling to his right. Now you got the wide side of the field to work with. Well, coming out of the timeout, the officials placing the ball right in the middle of the field. You're a little too deep here, though, to allow Cahoy to think that he can run and get it. So you might just go with the 7-step drop here. Start from the shotgun position and then just try and get your guys, give them enough time to get down 20 yards, make a play on the ball. I think the Southwest defense is way too disciplined to try and do anything cute like an underneath pass, to do kind of a shuffle screen, bubble screen. I don't think anything like that's going to work on this Silverhawk defense.
Here's the ball game. Cahoy. Douglas in the corner of the end zone.
Oh.
Incomplete. Great coverage by the Silverhawks, and that will seal the game.
Credit Grand Island, they had a shot. Douglas had a half step, and I think he got his hands on the ball here. Oh. But Gabriel Davris, real nice coverage there, jarring the ball loose as Douglas tried to come down with it in the back of the end zone.
Like you said, Andy, I think if looking back at the tape, the Islanders will say we had plenty of chances. We certainly didn't capitalize on them. And against good teams, disciplined teams like Lincoln Southwest,
that's right.
It's not a recipe for success.
And let's credit the Silverhawks for coming up with the big plays when they needed them, especially Mr. Grigsby coming from his free safety position.
Penalty there against the Silverhawks. Not that it will matter at this point.
Now they're up 2 scores here. Be a little surprised if Grand Island even decides to burn these timeouts and extend the game.
So looking ahead, this is huge in terms of momentum for the Silverhawks, as we mentioned the gauntlet that they now have between going to Grand Island and then hosting Lincoln High to round out the regular season. That'll be a game a lot of people across the state will be paying attention to. As for the Islanders, they get to host Lincoln East here on Friday, a game that Coach Tomlin said they hope to have Cole Evans back for.
Right.
And hopefully for the Islanders, they're going to try to take momentum into the postseason play, but that will do it. Here from Grand Island, Lincoln Southwest knocks off the number 4 Islanders 21-7. The Silverhawks improve to 7-1 with the victory. Grand Island drops to 6-2.
And for everyone questioning the schedule that Southwest played thus far to get them to that 6-1 record, well, they answered those questions here tonight on the road, winning in convincing fashion, a defensive struggle, getting out of their comfort zone. Got to be extremely happy if you're a Silverhawk fan here tonight.
We'll take a break. Hear from our coach as well as player of the game when we return. Lincoln Southwest gets the win. And welcome back here, wrapping things up for our homecoming. Grand Island's homecoming is spoiled as the Silverhawks get the 21-7 victory. Let's take a look at those top plays of the game. Top plays brought to you by Central Nebraska Orthopedics. From advanced surgical techniques to sports medicine expertise, Central Nebraska Orthopedics dedicated to the motion of life. Class A, 6-1 teams going at it for homecoming. Lincoln Southwest coming to Grand Island. Carson Cahoy getting his first career start for the Islanders, and that Southwest defense was tenacious. We start off with that sack and fumble recovered by Nick Leader. It eventually would set up the first score of the game. Great play by Laken Harnley to find Grixby. Taven Grixby in the end zone. We'll hear more about him later on. 7-0 though early on in the second quarter after that play. Now Brock Douglas, he's a gamer. He does it day in and day out. He had 140 yards on 7 receptions. There was 30 of them right there, the junior, always making plays in this offense. Now, Cahoy again is in a lot of trouble, and that is Mr. Nick Leader, preferred walk-on for the Huskers, making the sack. That was his second sack actually in a row on that series. We're still 7-0. That would be the score going into halftime. You have the screen pass to Caleb Francel, making a big-time play that he so often does. Pickup of 27 yards as the Islanders, whenever they would get into scoring position, something would happen, whether it was a turnover, whether it was a fumble, or some sort of penalty. Now, this nearly made it 14-0. Nothing but pay dirt in front of Alec Duvall. Wished he had that one back. It's still 7-0 here in the third quarter as Cahoy goes up to Douglas. Brock Douglas hauls it in. The guy makes plays all the time. That was a 37-yarder, but it would not turn into anything there. But here's Grand Island getting their first fumble of the game. Francel with the fumble. Kean Wentling with the recovery. Lincoln Southwest, though, would answer with a big play of its own. Hanley hits Chase Rennie for a 59-yarder. Now, this was after Timo Sykes had a 21-yard touchdown score to tie things up. That play then made it 14-7. Southwest back on top. And Taven Grixby, we talked about him. Interception on 4th down. And he just decides that he's going to take this thing all the way to the house. Yes, he eventually scores 94-yard pick 6. This really was the backbreaker for the Islanders. He would take it into the end zone to make it 21-7. Grand Island unable to come back. The Silverhawks get the victory 21-7 to improve to 7-1. I'm Brandon Axsmith. Those are your top plays of the game. Well, that'll do it here. We're going to take another quick break. I'm going to go down and check in with Coach Andrew Sherman, hear what he has to say, as well as hear from our player of the game coming up next. And welcome back here to Grand Island for our post-game show, driven by Cornhusker Toyota Honda, Nebraska's only dual Toyota Honda dealers. There's no need to drive to Lincoln or Omaha when shopping for a new or pre-owned vehicle. Check them out. And the sport fans in Grand Island, welcome back here. Lincoln Southwest gets the victory over Grand Island, 21-7. Joining me here for our post-game interview, Coach Sherman. Coach, a lot of people maybe on paper said, yeah, Lincoln Southwest is 6-1. They haven't played anybody yet. Well, you just played a very good Grand Island team. You were pretty dominant, specifically defensively, and you ultimately got the victory. What were your thoughts and takeaways from your team's performance out there?
Well, you know, we talked a whole bunch about people doubting us all week, and we'll continue that into next week. You know, as long as we don't doubt ourselves and our ability, that's all we really care about. Our parents in the stands love us, and they support us, and other than that, we don't really care.
And Grand Island, obviously a great team, so what was it that allowed you guys to do it on the field tonight?
Yeah, you know what? It was all 3 phases. You know, defensively, our defense is legit. You know, we fly around. Grand Island's defense, we had a tough time moving the ball on them too. But I tell you what, we were able to do. We were able to play some catch tonight. You know, we were 0 for 3 last week passing, and you know, when you can hit some hitches and you can hit a few easy passes, it opens up your run game a lot.
And of course, momentum going into kind of what we were calling the gauntlet of your schedule, Grand Island, then Lincoln High, a big one next week. What does this do for your team moving forward?
Well, I think we're going to host the playoff game is what I think. So, and that's always been the goal all summer conditioning and all summer workouts. That's what we talked about every day, was hosting in that first round of the playoffs.
Well, lastly, I'm going to talk to Mr. Grigsby next to me. What can you say about his performance? He was all over the field, 2 interceptions, 2 touchdowns, 1 offensively, 1 defensively.
He's a dude. I love him. That's about it, man. He's everywhere. How many guy flies around, he makes plays.
Sometimes keeping it simple is the best. Congrats, Coach, on the win. Good luck moving forward.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
Glad to do it. Let's talk to our Dream It Do It player of the game, Taven Grigsby. Let's start off first with your first touchdown. It was right behind us, actually, in the corner of the end zone. So what did you see, and what allowed you to make that play to start off the scoring?
Well, I knew I was going to be one-on-one with number 25 over here. And when I saw Lake and Harnley scramble, just sideline drill, we do that every single day, and had to just get to the back pylon, gave me a shot, and I had to go up and get it.
Well, you certainly did that, and that was your offensive contribution, but you were doing so much defensively. You're one of the tackle leaders as a DB, which is something that we both respect. And on top of that, you had 4 interceptions coming into this one, and you got 2 more as well. Walk us through your first pick first off.
I knew that they just love running teams, and when I read that he was going across the middle, they ran a similar play like 2 plays before, and it got batted down. And I told him, I was like, if it happens again, let me make a play. And Easton Boyd trusts me, me and him are brothers, and made a play, and I just had to get some yards after that. And I'm just really proud of how our defense played today.
Well, I'm going to ask you one more question about you. It was a great team effort, but your second interception, that was the backbreaker. And I don't know if you knew that or not. It was 4th down. So when I initially saw you catch that, I thought to myself, oh, you should have just let it drop so you'd have better field position, but then you decided to take it 94 yards. Now, was there any doubt in your mind that you were housing it, or did it just kind of develop as you kept running?
I just saw it keep developing. I didn't know it was 4th down. Don't play by me, but obviously it worked out. I have a lot of players that take pride on our defense, and if they see one of us make a play, we all want to go make plays, and so people want to make highlight blocks down the field. And I just had to do what I do best and make a play, and eventually scored on the play.
All right, well, you're getting cold, so I'll let you get out of here. One more question, though. What is the potential of this team, and what can this team do? You heard your coach saying not everyone's believed in us. You guys have, though, and you showed it on the field here tonight.
Yeah, everyone in the locker room believes that we control our own destiny. We have a lot of doubters, like Coach Sherm said, but again, we control our own destiny.
It's getting cold.
Yeah, we control our destiny, and we might be hosting a playoff game, but we can't be looking for the playoffs. We have a really good team with Lincoln High and Cedric Case commanding that offense, so that's going to be a really good game.
Taven Grigsby, congrats on the great performance. I'll let you get to the bus now. Enjoy the win.
Thank you.
That is our Dream It Do It player of the game, Taven Grigsby. 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, including that big pick 6 that helped seal the victory for Lincoln Southwest. That'll do it here from Grand Island. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for our terrific crew as well, and our Tyler Brasovsky, our truck operator, making all of this work and look good for you guys at home. If you stay with us, we're going to have college football coming up tomorrow. We have Wayne State as well as UNK volleyball. You can check out all of the listings on ncnsportsnow.com. For Andy Klassen, I'm Brandon Axmit. Thank you for watching, and we will see you on Saturday.